You know, I'm sitting here listening to the intro.
God. Yeah.
Thinking, how many things in that intro could get us fired today?
Get us fired.
It's a new day for broadcasters.
We've entered a new realm. It's the realm of Imus.
I'm sitting here going, well, that would get us fired.
That's a good one.
That certainly would get us fired. Just thinking about saying something racist would get us fired.
That clip in the wrong hands
would get us fired. Good morning. Welcome to the Opie and Anthony Show. It's May 7th, 2007. That's right. You're listening to live voices for the first time in like 2 weeks. Everyone can finally calm down. A lot of affiliates very pissed off that we took 2 weeks off.
Relax.
We were in a different cycle than everybody else. What can I tell you?
Sorry. What the hell could we tell you? We needed time off from this crap.
This crapola.
This garbage.
Yeah, we didn't take a vacation for a very long time, and we had to take one, and the spring book started, and that put everyone into a complete panic.
Ah, the spring book!
Radio stations were actually taking us off the air for 2 weeks, just panicking all over the place.
Like it matters with how those stupid ratings work anyway.
They're not going to complain when we don't take a day off this summer.
Yeah.
Oh, then it'll be fine. We can't take a day off this summer. We got the O&A Traveling Virus Comedy Tour coming to a city near you soon. Yeah.
Nice.
But,
post-vacation plug-in for the show within 2 minutes.
Well, you know what? No, we should start plugging every day.
Yeah.
The fact that we're heard on XM satellite radio as well.
Oh.
When our little voices go away for good, we'll still be on XM satellite radio.
We right now, we have the most dangerous occupations in the country. Forget about the deadliest catch for the crab people that catch the crabs.
Yeah.
Radio jocks are amongst the most dangerous jobs.
Worse than stuntman?
You don't know when you go in if you're even going to have a job or a livelihood or the ability to have a livelihood when you get out. You could be homeless.
I was walking in the building with Kenny today, and I'm like, well, let's see if these key cards still work.
Yeah. Oh, look, it beeps.
And then all the doors, all the locks worked. I'm like, okay, they didn't change the locks. I guess we're still allowed to broadcast because no one from the company is really talking to us.
No.
We have a new boss in charge. He hasn't even acknowledged that we exist yet. That's never a good sign. Another show here in New York pretty much got fired while we were on vacation for something so ridiculous. I can't sit here and not say anything.
It is so silly.
You know, what the company did here is they fired Imus over something so ridiculous. I can't even comprehend it. The more time that goes by, I can't comprehend that Imus got fired for saying what he did after 35, 40 years of doing exactly that on the radio.
The same thing.
And then, the big boss is way upstairs. They fired Imus, and I'm like, oh, that's great. You just empowered everybody with letterhead.
Yep,
that's what you really did.
Gave every little interest group that wants to just jump on the bandwagon and get themselves a little publicity the power to do so, just by running to the newspaper or running to any of the media outlets and saying, hey, this jock said this, we want him fired. And now they're completely empowered because you see all the press that the Imus situation got.
Yeah.
And now every single person on the air right now that is just firing up the microphones, it's for the morning radio, has no idea if it's their last day or not.
We have no idea.
We don't know. We could say something today that gets us taken off the air tomorrow and fired and done. Yeah,
I was talking to Super Agent Bob Eatman last night. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine with our fate. I'm
whatever.
Fine. I already know what's going to happen. We're not going to be here. One day we're just not going to be here, and we'll go back to XM satellite radio because I don't have any confidence. We're not going to sit here and filter ourselves and go, boy, are we allowed to talk about lesbians? Are we allowed to talk about Asians? Yeah. Are we allowed to talk about waterheads? I don't know.
I have no idea anymore what's allowed or not allowed. See, that seems to be the biggest problem with this entire situation. It was spelt out by the company and the FCC. Remember, the company actually gave us this whole FCC booklet that we had to sit down and read and make sure we signed it, and then the online test and everything.
Yeah.
We've entered this new realm where the rules are made up after you screw up. When you say something and they go, "Oh, what? Oh, did you hear what you just said?" No, what'd I say? I didn't break the rules. I know the rules.
Yeah.
No, new rule today.
New rule.
You can't say this about them.
New rules, because, see, the special interest groups got to the advertisers.
Right.
And the advertisers are scared S-less, so now we don't know what the rules are anymore. So enjoy your time in the air until we yank you off. JV and Elvis, they do the show after us here in New York. They're gone. I mean, they've been on suspension for 2 weeks. And it's now an indefinite suspension. We all know what that is. And the bit they did, I don't even know. I'm amazed. I'm absolutely amazed. You know, who decided that radio has to be nice?
Yeah, where did this come from? That radio has to be nice, but TV shows or movies or any other form of entertainment can take on whatever issues they want, be mean, have a character that's a murderer or a rapist or a racist or homophobic or misogynistic. As long as it's in the context of a movie or television, you're fine. But radio is held to this standard where we have to be nice now. Why do we have to be nice?
Yeah. Who says that we're supposed to be nice on the radio?
I really want to make some kind of an announcement that really gets some legs and hits the press. I want to put out a press release.
Ooh.
I want to do what Vince McMahon did for WWF.
Okay.
Remember in the old days of wrestling, where people watched and actually got into arguments and said, "That's real." No, dude, it's so fake. What they're doing, look, the guy isn't really kicking him. And people, believed that it was real, and the violence and everything was real, and the rivalries and everything else. And then Vince finally decided, you know something, screw it. I'm gonna hit the television and say, this is sports entertainment, is what we call it. No, they're not actually connecting to the face, or sometimes they do accidentally. But they're friends, backstage. It's show business. And yes, wrestling itself is not real. I want to go on the record and say, what you hear on this program, there are portions of our personality, just like I would assume in wrestling. Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't go around opening up cans of whoop ass when he's out to dinner with his kids or something. Do you honestly think Stone Cold just goes around going, "I'm going to open up a can of whoop ass on you" when he's getting Starbucks?
Are you trying to say most of these wrestlers, when their order's not right at a restaurant, they're not pile driving the waitress?
Yeah, they're pile driving the waitress. Would that be hysterical? That's exactly what I mean, Ope. No one's getting clotheslined because their soup is cold. That's what I'm trying to say. I want to say that although certain parts of our personality are indeed injected into who we are on this program, we do not go around all day long acting like idiots like we do on the air when we're on the radio. Can I please get someone to say in the news that although what we do is authentic, we are doing that, our persona on the air, though it might sometimes come across as racist through humor, homophobic, misogynistic, is indeed a portion of a character that we are all playing on the air, just as an actor does.
I'll start.
Or a wrestler.
When I'm not being Opie on the Opie and Anthony Show, and being a complete a-hole to everybody, including my fellow broadcasters, I'm actually Greg Hughes, and I'm a very nice guy when I'm not here.
Oh,
thank you.
Bravo.
Thank you. I actually care about animals. I actually give money to the homeless, believe it or not. I make sure they're okay. I take care of my family and my friends. I'm actually a nice guy. All right, I'm going to sit back.
Thank you.
All right.
Let me stand up as Anthony Cumia, not the Anthony in the Opie and Anthony part, and say, I, too, have done my fair share of good deeds that I do. I've actually felt bad watching certain people with afflictions walking down the street. Where it makes me... Oh, yes, Opie, yes.
Can I stand up again?
Stand up.
Actually, that really makes me laugh inside when I see that on the streets.
Doesn't it?
It makes me laugh.
When I authentically feel bad for an elderly person or a person who's a little down on their luck or a handicapped person, and I feel bad because you know why? I'm not at work. I'm not portraying a person, a part of my personality which does have that, like, horrible side. It's called being a human being. I don't think there's one person that has sat in a church during maybe a funeral or a somber event or even a wedding during the vows that hasn't thought an awful thought but hasn't acted upon it. It's part of your persona. Here on our program, we carry through with that. We become that magnified portion of our personality that has that racism, the homophobia, the misogynistic parts of us. But, like Opie has stood up, I stand up and say, too, I guess a secret no one knows about, I've given money to things I read about in the newspaper. And not just the poor little puddin-head girl that got her wheelchair stolen.
You gave money to that cause.
I sent money to get her a new goddamn wheelchair because I felt so bad for this girl.
I have to confess.
Yes, Jimmy. This is Jim Norton.
I stole her wheelchair.
You ass. I paid for that stupid thing. There are events hooked up with a girl had kidney problems.
And you read about this in the paper?
And it was a friend of a friend. And I got involved and helped out the best way I could financially.
I thought you only had one kidney.
No.
That's why we were away for 2 weeks.
I have a scar right in my back now. I woke up in a tub of ice, though, in a hotel with a note saying, get to a hospital. We've taken your kidney. It's on the black market.
Did we actually take 2 weeks off so you could see the stupid Panama Canal, by the way?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, we did. We took 2 weeks so I could see a ship go up and down.
Get back to your kidney story.
No, that's about it. I'm just saying I want to do for talk radio what Vince McMahon did for wrestling, which is take that stupid controversy away that we're all actually 100% the people you hear on the air. It is not true in any one personality. Again, not saying that there aren't certain parts of our personality that come through, but...
Well, with that said, Steven from Bayshore, man, he kept sharp over break. Hey, Ope, welcome back. It's good to hear you explaining that you're really a nice guy as you scrape a homeless guy's cake from the treads of your shoes. Nice.
Yeah. See? We were on the air.
I've walked by that same homeless guy many times without a mic in front of my hand, and what have I done, Anthony? I've handed over cold, hard cash.
You know, that this is in some way to try to justify what we're doing. I'm not... The last thing I want to do is sound like, look how good of a guys we are. My point here is that we should not be held to this standard that for some reason radio broadcasters have been held to. And now are being held to even more stringently. To be nice.
No.
We are being now held to a standard where we have to be nice and make people feel good. Go screw!
Who the hell decided that radio has to be nice?
Why? Why does radio, out of any other medium, have to be nice? Why can't we say things that might hurt other people's feelings and be insensitive? Without having a gun put to our heads. Yes, a gun put to our heads in the way where you then have your little group go to the sponsors of the program, and once the sponsors get pulled, the show gets pulled. Instead of what should happen, which is if you suck and don't have ratings and no one wants to hear you, which happens all the time, you lose your sponsors and you lose your show. That's how this business works. Not having some economic terrorists with letterhead going around to your sponsors and ratting you out. They go to your job and just rat you out to your boss for something you said. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we will get let go eventually.
This little ploy ain't gonna work. Who's kidding who?
We know that. But we're going to have fun while it lasts, I'll tell you that much.
Let's have a blast.
And I'll tell you a little something for the listeners to have fun with. You guys try to guess which special interest group will get Opie and Anthony fired. Because they all have power now.
Who's it going to be?
Who are you kidding right now? Because a lot of people knew we were coming back finally after 2 weeks. A lot of special interest groups with their stupid letterhead, they got their tape recorders rolling right now, just waiting for Anthony and I and little Jimmy Norton to screw up.
Ladies and gentlemen, will it be the black people? Will it be Asians, homosexuals?
Lesbians?
Will it be women, lesbians? Who will it be that gets the Opie and Anthony Show kicked off the air? You try to decide.
I hope it's over something so ridiculous that
I want a group that comes out of left field.
And I just read it in print, and it just makes me laugh and laugh.
Parents of Down syndrome children.
Wow.
That might be the ringer. Boy, have we made fun of those haircuts for years.
See, I want it to be something so awful that even our girlfriends go, you deserve to be fired.
Good. I'm glad you're fired.
So awful that we don't have girlfriends anymore.
Yeah, we just have to have sex with each other.
Attaboy. Finally, those crackers will come into use.
Here's the deal, man. You're listening to, 3 comedians. Some of us are funnier than others. I'll be the one to say that, sure, no problem. But every one of us in this room is a comedian, just trying to make people laugh. There's a reason that Anthony and I and Jimmy, he's been with us for a long time as well.
He's just as guilty.
That this show has been successful because we do say and do awful things that you think of doing in your own life.
We do them to each other, too, by the way.
How many times do you hear a fan or a listener come up and go, man, the reason I listen to you guys is because you guys say exactly what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
No, I refuse to sit here and think that radio has to be nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm reading in the New York Times yesterday. We'll get into that. Jacques Steinberg's at it again. And Jacques Steinberg, because he's listening to us all the time.
Jacques?
He listened to 250 hours of Male Talk Radio since the 90s thing. And he knows that we've been asking for him to come on our show.
Yep.
We don't hide, Jacques.
We want to face you on our program on these very airwaves and have a nice, civil discussion with you about this situation. But what do? You don't do that. You write these half-assed misinformation, out-of-context lines from all these programs and make talk radio sound like just an awful, awful bunch of jackasses. We are.
Yeah.
But at least let's talk about it.
It's not geared towards a guy like that's mentality. You know
No.
what he is. He's the little guy with a little bow tie. He was a hall monitor. He's just one of those nerds that needs to feel empowerment, and this is like his cause.
It's like having a man's man reviewing Lifetime movies.
Yeah.
They wouldn't like it. It's not meant for them. Just like this show and other shows like it that deal with the same type of subject matter, this is not for you, Jacques. Of course you're going to be upset and offended by it. It's not meant for you. And for the interest groups that don't like what's being said on it, you're being controlled by an appliance that has the off switch. And I'm not talking about things like we got crap for the Sex for Sam thing because it was out on the street and this, and you get crap for FCC things because it's violating federal laws and regulations. That's fine. But with situations where you're hurting people's feelings, you're being ruled by an appliance. You're being ruled by a toaster that talks. This is a blender that makes noise that comes out as voices. And it has an off switch. Use it.
And there you go. All right, we're back from vacation. I want to make it perfectly clear: we completely support JV and Elvis.
Absolutely.
We had our problems with those guys for a little bit. It was
a dopey radio war thing that went on for a short period of time.
It was a couple flare-ups, but it's amazing that these guys are going to lose their gig here in New York because of the stupidest, dumbest, who gives a crap bit.
And about the little battle we had, who's kidding who? We're all a bunch of pussies. We had to pass each other in the hallway every day. What are we going to do? Duke it out? We're leaving to go over to XM. They're coming in here, and we're scrapping in the hallway? Come on.
I should have paid better attention because Elvis is a mess, but JV is actually quite strapping. I'm like, wow, I probably wouldn't want to have him punching me in the face. Pick my targets a little better.
No, we absolutely support those guys, and it's ridiculous that they're even off the air. It really is.
It's really amazing. Okay, we're fired up. We're back from vacation. I want to apologize to West Palm Beach. Sorry you didn't get your Nirvana song in the first 20 minutes of the show.
By the way, when we come back,
I'm sure you asked, we listened.
Because, music is so much more important than what we're saying today. So I apologize to West Palm Beach. You didn't get your Red Hot Chili Peppers and Nirvana and Chemical Romance this morning. Sorry that we had to actually talk for 15, 20 minutes.
By the way, there's something called an iPod, if you want that. Look into it.
Well, whatever. Maybe we'll get into that.
Wait, when we come back,
I'm
going to make a point.
Hey!
Whoa, hey now. You're listening to comedians. You're listening to guys that are going to say awful things. We don't feel like doing nice radio.
No.
We're nice from time to time, but guess what? Radio doesn't have to be nice.
No.
Good morning. It's good to be back. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. We're live today. It's May 7th, 2007. The ONA virus spreading across America. Our phone number, 1-866-313-FREE. 1-866-313-FREE. Let's say hi to Sal in New Jersey. Sal, what's going on?
What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Good to have you back on the air.
Right on, man.
I just want to know, why does CBS, set this dangerous home where everyone's going to end up getting fired? How come they can't just tell these groups to, go, themselves? It's just, they're giving them so much power. I don't understand.
Wouldn't that be the best thing?
They should just tell them, go screw. An apology should be accepted as that, an apology. We said it during the first break. When CBS fired Imus for doing exactly what he's been doing for 35, 40 years, I said to myself, we're all screwed now because you just empowered all the special interest groups.
Yeah.
Everyone with letterhead.
A prank call, a prank call. CBS, come on.
Everyone with letterhead now knows they have power and they could get radio shows kicked off the air. Not only could they get radio shows kicked off the air, they could advance their agenda and get their names in the press.
Yeah, all they want to do is pump up their organization more. So this is one of the easiest causes. Oh my God, is this an easy cause?
You guys, at this protest we had with the pests and the doghouse fans, these guys were handing out paper that were comparing this prank call to the World War II and what was going on in Nazi Germany. And that just blew my mind that they can't differentiate from World War II. All those travesties and a damn prank call.
Travesties, tragedies, all of them.
For the rest of the country, it was JV and Elvis. They do the show after us. They did a prank call using a computer voice to a Chinese restaurant, a bit that's been done so many times on the radio. I can't even tell you, man. Yeah. There are so many Chinese restaurant prank call bits that have been done for decades on the radio. And I don't even know if we're allowed to say what the computer voice said, but it was honestly...
I wouldn't.
Honestly, in my world... It was whatever. It was a throwaway. Who cares? But they're beyond pissed. They met with JV and Elvis, and they're still not happy that JV and Elvis apologized a couple times, and that's not good enough.
An apology doesn't matter anymore. Once you're past that point where you do something and a group wants you fired, now they set a precedent with the whole Reverend Al thing and Imus, where an apology isn't good enough. When they want you fired, you have to apologize and be fired.
Well, because a lot of times it's not even about the apology. I think Sharpton and Jesse Jackson were very, dishonest because that wasn't about Imus and what he said. It was about he said something, so that's their foot in the door, and you can use that to get more black producers, more black people hired. It's a way to get what you want.
Yep.
That's all it is. It's just a way to get more of what you want.
The way that should have been handled in hindsight, Imus apologized on the air. I think that should have done it right there. And the last thing you want to do is give Reverend Al any kind of a stage for him to get up on and start giving him publicity, because that's all he's looked for over the years.
Yeah.
Tawana Brawley. Remember Tawana Brawley case? Remember that? Come on.
But more importantly, the thing we're saying today, because that happened, now every special interest group out there feels like they got power now. And they're gonna try to get things done because they want to see their organization in the paper. Trust me, they want to be the special interest group that gets Opie and Anthony.
It's like, hey, we got one. Look who we got.
Right.
It's like they're fishing and who could get the biggest trout.
There you go.
So you guys think that these guys will end up being back on the air, or you think they're done? Because this is ridiculous.
This is just my opinion. I think they're so done.
Based on our own past experiences and how it goes, we've been through the mill a couple of times now, where we get fired, and it's following the game plan to a T. So it doesn't look good as far as I see it. I don't know what the corporate's thinking on this. They don't come and tell us what's going to happen.
And if you need more info on what happened here in New York, just Google JV and Elvis, and all the articles will come up. Because I don't even know if we're allowed to say what pretty much got them fired.
No, we can't.
So I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what we're allowed to say anymore. So I think we're going to have to, throw the filter away and just continue doing our radio show until they finally change the locks.
Yeah.
Like I said this morning, I was like, all right, cool. I'm not even joking. I'm like, oh, great, we get to broadcast today.
Yeah, the cards still work. Here's the new way we have to do our job. Anytime someone gets suspended or fired for something, that then goes on a list of things that can't be said anymore. But the list isn't made until someone's fired for it.
Right.
So you never know. It's like this Russian roulette. Every time you walk in, you just hope your show is an empty chamber by the time you clock out at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But sometimes, blam, you blow your own head off, and then, the next show knows maybe not to use that one.
But you know what? The fan sites could have a lot of fun with this. Have a little poll amongst yourselves and guess which special interest group will get the Opie and Anthony Show fired.
Try not to be so obvious.
We're hoping it's a doozy. We're hoping it's an organization.
I want a left field one.
Yeah, we're hoping it's an organization we had no clue about.
No clue.
What?
First of all, that's an organization.
Right.
Secondly, they listened to the show, and thirdly, they cared.
Jews with wigs has power?
Jews with wigs.
Changing the station. That's what I want to know.
Amish whores. Just like what?
Amish girls that love to go to strip clubs and dance. That's wonderful.
Amish sloppy. Jeez. Amish, you could crash me, man. Amish.
All right.
Whatever.
All right, hey. Don't do that. There's a lot of car crash victims.
Oh, my God.
Well, now not with that, please. No.
The governor of New Jersey is going to be all mad at that one. Buckle up, you idiot. How about that? Now, am I going to get in trouble from people that don't wear seatbelts? The guy, did you see that, by the way?
Huh.
When they wheeled him out of the hospital, and he was thanking the doctors and everything and getting a little emotional.
Governor Corzine out there in Jersey, sure.
In Jersey, he had his big accident doing like 95 miles an hour, not wearing a seatbelt, and he's like, I set a bad example.
Oh, he was crying?
Yeah, he was really trying his best to suck it up.
That
but
rocks.
Man, he was crying. He was thanking the people that saved his life and everything. So it was a little tough to watch. But wear your seatbelt, you dummy.
And then I understand that they thought he was going to die, so they had McGreevy come in who was supposed to read his last rites. McGreevy wants to be a priest now, an Episcopalian priest or something like that.
Are you kidding?
Oh, no. It was on the front page of the Post. Yeah, he's like looking into being a priest. The whole country is just finished.
McGreevy's lost his mind. His wife's writing a tell-all book.
Right.
Yeah.
When she was standing there, when he announced that he was a gay American, she was looking like, I am being looked at right now as a married woman married to this guy, like I am probably the worst in bed ever. Ever.
She walks, you can hear a padlock clanking on her crotch.
Just awful. But now she's going to be telling stories about what he used to do and, how I guess this family life they were supposed to have was pretty much him cruising at night. Honey, I'm going out for cigarettes. Yeah, cigarettes. That's it. Where, the rest stop again? Yeah.
I'm going to the Price Club.
Yeah, Price Club. That's where I'm going. Psst, hello.
All right.
It's on the other side of the glory hole.
Hey, we lost Sal. Let's say hi to Troy in Brooklyn. Troy, what's up?
Hey, Franks. Glad to have you back in town.
Thank you. Anything else, Troy?
Troy.
Yeah.
What do you got?
You're on the air. Speak.
Hey, Reverend Al is your pal. He's going to read you guys' last rites.
Reverend Al is a pal?
Is your pal.
Is your pal? Okay.
He's going to read your last rites.
Do you like us or not?
Yeah, I like you.
Oh, okay.
All right, Troy.
Trying to figure that out.
Goodbye, Troy. Donna, New York, what's up?
Hi guys, how you doing? I just wanted to make two quick comments. First of all, I went to the same high school as Tawana Brawley. I graduated the year that whole thing happened. And
what happened?
Not only did Reverend Al Sharpton make all those horrible accusations about that whole thing, but he destroyed an innocent man's life and caused a suicide. There was a suicide involved in that whole case because, I mean, not only did they not say they were sorry, but they didn't even pay the money that they lost in the civil lawsuit.
To who, Pagonis?
Yeah. We never paid him his money.
Yeah.
The guy's just a shyster. Just stop already. Why entertain this guy? Why let him hold court?
Well,
why let him come into your establishment and talk about his agenda? Wait, if you had a respectable leader that wants to come in and actually come in there without this agenda that's pretty much driven by self-promotion, then fine. Let's sit down and have some kind of dialogue about anything. That's fine, man. I love when people call and you can just talk back and forth like that, whether they disagree with you or not. But when you have a guy like that all of a sudden felt this power and then gets in there and makes demands like that, and you have a background like Al Sharpton, you should be ashamed of yourself for even entertaining that man.
Yeah.
Hey, Donna, you also want to say, why is it okay for TV to make fun but not radio?
Yeah, well, you know what? Last night on the SNL thing in the 90s, they had a clip of George Bush, the father, on there, and he was basically saying they do skits, they make fun of me all the time, they do all these things. And how come it's really pretty much okay with the president of the United States to say stupid, kind of almost on the borderline things, but something stupid as a Chinese prank phone call, that's just
It's complete, different standards. I mean, radio guys, unfortunately, we're pariah. We suck. We're the worst human beings, but you do the exact same type of humor on TV and it's completely fine. Because for some reason, people out there don't understand that comedians could actually be on the radio.
The radio. And we're held to this standard that Edward R. Murrow was held to. Edward R. Murrow would get on the air and speak and give the news and opinions and talk about things. And you fast forward now, I don't know how many years, 50 years, and all of a sudden we are held to the same standards. It's like holding a show like Rescue Me to the same standards as network news. It's not. First of all, Rescue Me, I give more credibility to than network news. But it's different. Why on the radio can't you have a comedy program that is based on off-color jokes, dark humor, things like that? Why is it being held to this standard where we have to be nice to everybody? Give me a goddamn answer. I want an answer as to why we have to be held to this standard.
It's when things are said in humor. It's not even just radio, because that SNL sketch you're pointing out with George Bush, he's still a safe target on radio. It's when you say things in humor, people have the problem with it. TV there's a lot of things they can't do on television, a lot of things they'd probably like to do that they can't do because it might offend somebody. It's only when you say things in humor. To play a rapist, to play a pedophile is acceptable. To make fun of one of those situations is not. It's
right.
silly.
No matter what the context.
There's a thing in the paper here. I just wanted a real quick quote. This is the article in the Post. Killer made sick 9/11 joke. An insurance agent, he's accused of killing people for their life insurance policies, joked about how rich he'd be if Osama bin Laden had directed a plane towards the Richmond Hill section of Queens. The guy is a killer. He's murdering people. And they're quoting the fact that he made a tasteless joke.
A tasteless joke.
Who cares?
That draws more attention and more anger than the fact that he's a murderer.
He made a sick joke. And that's what they're talking about in the newspaper. That's how revolting we are about the spoken word.
What
silly.
A twisted place this is becoming. I never thought I'd see something change so much in my lifetime, where in a very short period of time. As a matter of fact, I mean, we went through the phases of the when we got fired, and then the Janet Jackson episode. Now the Imus thing. We're going into this realm of you gotta watch what the hell you're even thinking.
We're going back into the 50s, man. We need a new summer of love.
Come on, let's get groovy again.
We need the acid test.
Yeah. It's really becoming this whole communist witch hunt atmosphere. Remember the McCarthy hearings and stuff like that? It's getting like that, but with with the way you talk, with just your freedom of speech.
Paul from Long Island's going to drill the point home. This is the perfect example. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, I'm on the air, right?
Yes.
Yes, you're
turn
on
down the
air,
radio,
sir.
buddy. If you're on hold, you got to turn down the radio. Let's go.
How the hell is South Park able to get away with everything that they say and that they do on this show? Like when they had the nigger guy episode. How are they able to get away with that?
Because it's a cartoon, sir. And in our
matter,
hold on, sir. I'm answering your question. I'm not saying I agree with them. I'm telling you why. Because it's a cartoon. In our idiotic society, it's safe to allow a cartoon to say certain things because it kind of alleviates us the guilt of thinking it. Do you understand? When you allow a person to say certain things, that's kind of a reflection of you and your mentality. But when you allow a cartoon to say it, for some reason, that's just doesn't seem like it's.
You know what else? I've seen a lot of the most controversial episodes of South Park, and what they try to also do is they make this poignant statement by using these awful words and stereotypes and everything. They wrap it up at the end with why they use those words. It really makes a point, and I think that's kind of saved them a little bit.
More importantly, why don't we turn ourselves into cartoons?
Hey, we're cartoons.
Hey, how you doing?
Why don't we just...
I'm just going to put on a weird cartoon voice.
Why don't we, just run a promo that you're actually listening to cartoon characters?
That's fantastic. How could cartoons get in trouble? They're cartoons.
And then a special interest group will call Tom, and they're going to need to meet with Opie and Anthony and Jim Norton, and Tom's going to go, but you can't meet with them. They're cartoon characters.
I saw them leave the building, and they were three-dimensional. Don't try to tell me. We're cartoons. Oh, brother.
Something about that makes me laugh so hard.
Just doomed.
Prove that we're not cartoon characters. To the special interest groups rolling their stupid tape recorders this morning, you're listening to cartoon characters.
Unbelievable. I love some of the old bit requests that are coming up. No, sorry, you won't hear that anymore.
No. Mark and Mastic, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
You're on vacation having fun. RCN dedicated a song to Mastic Beach. Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
Some of the people got bent out of shape, called up RCN and go, yo, we're going to boycott your radio station if you don't apologize.
Did they apologize?
Oh, yeah, they did it on Friday. There was an apology at 8 a.m. on Monday morning. We're so sorry. We meant nothing by it.
God.
That happens.
Guys, it wasn't even the jock that said it. It was like the morning show guys.
Right.
Morning DJs.
Right.
Like, we're so sorry. This shouldn't have happened.
We're entering into an era where you got to be nice on the radio. Someone has decided that, you can't be mean on the radio.
Yeah, but come on. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Mastic, but it's a pretty rough town.
It's an ugly town. I'm from Long Island.
I used to go to Mastic Beach when I was a young lad. Had a bungalow there with the whole family. Now I hear it's just a crack house.
Yeah, it's insane at night. I bought my house there 2 years ago during the winter. And I was like, oh, wow, what a nice little waterfront town, middle of the winter. Once summer rolled around, I was like, oh, man, what did I get myself into?
Well, there you go.
Once the weather broke, I was like, oh, geez, honey, we're screwed.
You might need a new real estate agent.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, thank you.
Had to apologize.
All right.
By the way, CBS owns us. I was going to say owns the... no, they own us at this point. And here's something that gets me. We can't say what we want to say. A lot of things. In humor. Based in humor. Yet I just saw a promo for something that's going to be on CBS, Channel 2 here in New York. Other CBS affiliates, I believe, are going to carry it. Where they're giving Son of Sam a huge interview. They're letting him sit there and talk. This is a guy who should be rotting in prison in anonymity because all this guy ever wanted was attention. And they are opening up their airwaves and letting him say whatever the hell he wants from behind bars. Son of Sam, murderer, and they're giving him any airtime is despicable.
More importantly, what else does he have to say at this point?
I know.
I mean, God.
Shave the mustache.
He should have just been executed. He shouldn't be speaking anymore.
Yeah, and that, again, if you want to go into a whole other different subject, the stupid death penalty thing, and life in prison, it becomes just your life. That's all. It's not as horrible as everyone makes it out to be because you're still breathing. It's part of your life. And now you got CBS News cameras coming in and letting you voice your opinion on everything, on what you want to talk about.
Yeah, what does he have to say?
Who cares? The guy shouldn't be given any opportunity to address the nation on his feelings on anything. The guy should be in some kind of ancient medieval prison rotting away, and they're opening up their CBS airwaves and giving him all the freedom he wants to say what he wants, yet we have to watch every goddamn word that comes out of our mouths because we might hurt or offend somebody. This guy shot people in the head.
I'm saying, why aren't the advertisers upset at that?
Right. Where are the advertisers pulling advertising because they're opening up their airwaves and letting this animal speak out? Give me a break. What a topsy-turvy world we live in.
Easy.
If I could put it in those terms.
Well, now that you're a cartoon character, that's perfect, though.
Topsy-turvy. Let me tell you something. I don't agree. He shouldn't be on the air. Hoo-hoo. I can say anything like this, and it's okay, because I'm a cartoon, don't you know?
We've already developed a couple things since being back. We're officially cartoon characters.
Officially.
And the listeners are betting like crazy right now, trying to figure out which special interest group will get us fired.
Good luck. Make it a good one.
If you thought you'd hear fear in our voices today, you were dead wrong.
You're mistaken, don't you know? I'm going to be that guy.
You know what we should do? We should just decide amongst ourselves what day we decide to piss off everyone and then let all the special interest groups fight it out.
Maybe that's the best way to go. You offend every single group, and then they have to duke it out to see who gets credit for getting us thrown off.
Who gets the headline in the paper?
Yeah, who gets to put our heads on a pike in front of their headquarters.
That's what we'll do. Between ourselves, we're going to pick a day that it's just all hell breaks loose. And then just sit back and watch the fun.
Yeah. Oh, what a blast. Just let them all go at it.
Hey, it's Opie and Anthony. And little Jimmy Norton.
Of course.
It's the Opie and Anthony Show for now. Let's be honest with each other. It's just a matter of time.
The targets firmly affixed to the back of our heads.
And we accept it.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Miss the money?
Yeah, well, take shorter vacations.
It's the ONA virus spreading across America.
Are we live in Florida, by the way, right now?
I guess, yeah. They don't seem to be too excited about it.
They hate us.
Whatever.
We've listened. You talk, we listen.
That's encouraging you.
More music. Less of the guys that do the morning show.
It's just...
Well, what happened was we got into a weird cycle with our careers. We didn't know we were going back to regular radio. We've been back on regular radio a year. So Anthony books this cruise a year in advance, and it falls during the spring book.
Yeah.
But we weren't on regular radio, so in our world, it didn't matter when we took vacation.
Well, we cruised with the whole family, because this wasn't just like him.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole
I'd have canceled it. It was, there were 14 people in our group.
So there was nothing we could do about this thing. We go back to regular radio, and we have this cruise thing looming over our heads. And, of course, Anthony, was going to take his cruise with his family for 2 weeks, because if we were just on XM, it wouldn't matter in that world.
Right.
The affiliates lost their effing minds, and they ignored the fact that we haven't even had a vacation since last August.
Yeah.
Except for like a little Christmas thing that every radio guy takes off, but we didn't take a vacation since August. They ignore that. And they're just outraged that we would actually take 2 weeks during the spring book. And I understand their point to a point, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
But we had no choice. So then I'm getting phone calls throughout the whole vacation. So now I'm not even vacationing.
Yeah.
A big head of one of the companies we worked for, this person goes, "Do they even care?
Do we even care?"
Our agent calls and goes, blah, blah, wants to know if you guys even care.
Say yes.
Do they even? I just need to know that they care. Are you kidding me? We haven't taken a vacation since last August.
We're in here banging it out every day.
And our cycle is now different because we're doing the comedy tour all over the country to kind of maybe, juice up our ratings and juice up our audiences in a lot of cities.
Yeah.
So we're not taking the summer off for the most part. We're working almost every weekend this entire summer. Do we even care? What do you think?
Do they even care?
Bob goes, I think you need to call this person and show that you care. I'm like, go screw. I got snorkeling to get to. And then E-Rock calls me in a panic. He's down in West Palm Beach, and he goes, oh, man, the West Palm Beach station. They not only did they
I thought they were out of Mayo.
Huh?
Yes, you got on the scale and a pound was gone. How do I put it back on immediately?
Yeah. Called in a panic.
Everybody was in a panic because we took 2 weeks off, which makes us feel like we're wanted, I guess. But E-Rock's like, I'm down here in West Palm Beach. Not only did they take you off the air for 2 weeks, which was so disappointing. When I heard a few stations took us off the air, I'm like, what are you doing? These best ofs are really, really good. It brings a lot of people up to speed on a lot of the things we do with this show. By the way, the logical thing to do, I don't, there's one city that pisses me off, and the guy doesn't even understand why I'm pissed off. But what you should have done was have maybe local guys on, introing O&A bits, and maybe doing some local stuff. That's all. Yeah, a combination platter would have been the way to go, by the way.
BCN.
What? Huh? Yeah, whatever. He's still beyond pissed. I'm like, you're pissed because we're pissed that you took us off the air for 2 weeks?
Do we even care?
So then E-Rock calls. He goes, not only do they take you off the air in West Palm Beach, they're just playing music, and they're bragging that they're playing music.
Yeah.
I'm like, get out of here. He goes, I'll have the promo for you Monday.
Opie and Anthony will return to the buzz on Monday, May 7th. In the meantime, Jason Davis will take you to work every morning from 5 until 9 with your favorite buzz cuts. One after another after another.
I can't hear this anywhere. Oh, love this one. What? Here is this. Nice.
You ask, we answer with less talk and more rock in the morning. This is Florida's new rock alternative.
How many people are asking?
The Buzz.
That's the way they're talking about their morning show. We're off.
You asked, we answered. More rock, less talk. Less of those idiots that you've had on the air.
Nothing makes you feel good about what you do than that. Thank you, West Palm Beach. Thank you.
Did they really ask for 15-year-old songs? Is that what it is? You asked for 15-year-old songs, and we answered yes.
They just played every song that is on everyone's iPod.
Jesus. I thought me and Opie were back at AAF.
We just got replaced by a jukebox. Man, that makes us feel real good today.
But
you asked. We answered.
We answered. We built a time machine so you could go back to 93.
Let's talk in the morning. So what happened? You stopped listening today?
Yeah. What?
God, why don't you just be honest about it, man? Does anybody in this business just tell the truth about how they feel? Come on, man.
I don't know.
Thanks for the support, guys.
Thank you. A lack of honesty in this business.
Thanks for the support. That makes us feel good.
Yeah.
Less talk, more rock. Basically, we think Opie and Anthony suck, but it wasn't our choice to put them on our station.
You should have seen their homepage. I looked at it, and there was a big thing advertising what was going to be on after Opie and Anthony, and that's how you guys are mentioned. After Opie and Anthony. It's like Opie and Anthony are tiny, but the thing coming on after is mentioned. It was
Opie and Anthony. And then, all day long. We're replacing Opie and Anthony this week. You don't want to hear them. But you asked, and we listened, so now the Gin Blossoms.
The Gin Blossoms?
They play Chemical Romance and other things, too, but...
Stop.
Boy, thanks, guys. That makes us feel confident in what we're doing.
Here it is. It's probably 8 inches high. It says, the 90s at 9, and then under it. I have to move towards the monitor to read this.
I can't see it.
Weekday mornings, 9 to 10, 9 to 11, immediately following Opie and Anthony. That's That's your play.
God, it's the smallest font possible.
It's a picture of Kurt Cobain and some other guys who I should know, but
Smashing
I don't.
Pumpkins and Eddie Vedder and that's Lane.
The 90s at 9.
Yeah.
They're just promoting what's on after the show.
After us.
Oh
boy.
That's good. Where's the one on the homepage? Where's the one? I just want to find it.
Hey, there
you
we
have
are.
to scroll all the way to the bottom left. Oh, that's the worst thing I've ever seen.
We're right by the little thing that tells you what server the page is actually on.
Take the Buzz Music survey, and then you guys are to the left. What's on 90s at 9?
And they ran the promo every day.
Oh, that's
Less
great.
talk, more rock. You asked. They said you asked for it.
You asked, we listened.
If they had the balls, this is the promo they would have put on while we're gone. Thank God they're off for 2 weeks. Let me explain what's going on here. The company forced us to take this awful show called Opie and Anthony.
We hate them.
We hate them. We have no choice. But now that they're gone for 2 weeks, we're going to replace them with music because that's what we really want in the mornings.
We really want to do.
And that's probably what's going to happen eventually.
Yeah, we know that.
Probably not eventually. Probably sooner than later.
Yeah.
Probably today.
Probably.
After this break.
Whatever, dude. Just whatever.
Who cares? Do they care?
That's the one that really pissed me off. I'm like, really? You don't think we care? Are you kidding me? We flew out to do Jay Leno 2 days before Christmas.
Yeah.
You don't think we care?
The promo was the only mention. Why wouldn't you just have, again, local guys doing wraparound? That'd be a great idea. But why would you? You asked, we answered.
Wow, you asked and we answered. Let's talk more rock. We got replaced by a jukebox.
But it's like, how do you just smash your morning show like that? It's like, then just replace the show if that's what you got to do. But don't be so passive aggressive about it. It's silly.
They were forced to take us.
I know they were,
and they'll probably get rid of us soon because the new guy in charge is giving the local stations a lot more power. So have fun, do what you want, whatever. What am I going to say about it?
Yeah,
XM.
Yeah, yeah. Don't forget when we do get kicked off. When we do get kicked off, we will get kicked off a bunch of stations in the coming months. It's obvious to me. We'll be on XM if you care. If you don't, whatever.
My apologies.
Whatever. Listen to the new guys. What can I tell you?
My apologies to those things I've said about ELO and the XM crew when we're riding high and mighty here. I didn't mean it. I was only joking.
I was only joking before the big change. Yeah. My God.
Anyway.
What a great atmosphere to have to work in with this looming thundercloud over your head. Watch what you say.
I was depressed, man.
Time of day.
The whole 2 weeks, like all these things are happening. I mean, I can't mention my stupid Caroline's Day coming up this week. It's silly.
When would that be?
I don't want to talk about Thursday through Sunday this week. Who cares? Caroline's just furious at me because I didn't run a promo on it.
Oh.
We're paying you, stupid. I'm like, no.
Whatever. You're going to sell out, man. It's New York.
Artistically, yes. I will. You watch how PC I make my act. I'm going to hyphenate everything.
Hey, by the way, congratulations to the Buffalo Sabres. I couldn't be happier for the Buffalo Sabres.
Buffalo.
Taking out Tom Chiusano's stupid Rangers.
Tom came in putting his tie on, and he was actually standing on a little stool, and he was trying to adjust the other end to a beam. I've never seen Tom so depressed before. Colorful tie, sad man.
You don't care.
Oh, that was a colorful tie, wasn't it?
Yeah. Can I tell you something about Tom? And this is what I
could say 30 things about that tie that would have us fired by maybe 15 minutes from now.
That tie, let's just say this, that tie should be mounting another tie of the same gender.
You know what I love about Tom? He don't care.
No.
All hell's breaking loose around him. He's losing shows here and there, and he just keeps on selling whatever crap is on the station. He don't care. If this turns into a light FM, he'll still sell it.
He'll be here.
He won't be affected. Because he's good at what he does. He cares about his Rangers way more than he cares about Free FM here in New York City. And the Sabres kicked the Rangers' ass. And I say Sabres all the way, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And by the way, Buffalo was beyond kind to us, gave us unbelievable ratings.
My God, I looked at those. I thought it was a mistake.
Oh.
Did you really?
No.
Oh.
I knew we were big in Buffalo.
At least 1 out of 25 cities were good.
Right. It'll always go up to Buffalo.
I
know we had a few.
Pleasantly surprised.
If I have to live in Buffalo, I will shoot myself.
I was there. It's all right.
No, it's
all right.
It's not.
I don't mind
Buffalo.
It's too cold. The people are nicer there, though. Yeah, it's the One virus. We're very happy to be back. We were very happy that our keys still work today.
Yeah.
No joke. I'm like, one of these days it's going to be like, you can just go home today.
Yeah. Guys.
We're changing formats.
Yeah.
And we don't want you to continue.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Take it easy. You don't think we're going to get the boot from saying something and having some group?
I think eventually we do get the boot for saying something stupid, and I just hope it's something really, really funny and ridiculous.
I hope it's really funny and it's a real stupid group.
Well, special interest groups, congratulations. You guys have all the power now.
Yep.
You control radio. Congratulations. That's what they accomplished by firing Imus. They gave everybody with a letterhead power.
Lots of power to just have people thrown off if they say things that hurt their little feelings. We were hurt. There's a difference between making jokes about stereotypes, things like that, and hate speech. They love classifying everything now as, that's the new catchphrase, hate speech. There's such an easy distinction between humor that is a little off color, a little racial humor, sexual humor, and hate speech.
Of course.
You know, and it only makes the, I think it takes away from the actual hate speech, you know? When you get something that's actual hate speech, you know it. Not when it's a joke. Yeah, dopes.
People only want their ethnicity, sexual orientation, or any of that crap mentioned when it's a parade benefiting them. Then it's, yes, lump us all into the same category because of the accomplishments of other similar people. But God forbid you point out something negative about somebody in that group and lump everybody in. All of a sudden, you're a homophobe, you're a racist, you're a sexist, whatever.
We absolutely have no confidence with the company we work for, unfortunately. And, you know, we loved coming back to regular radio, but with them firing Imus, and it looks like JV and Elvis are not going to be back on the air, what hope do we have?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time that we're going to just fall into the same trap.
Yep.
And you wonder once in a while when they ask for a comment, if a spokesperson for a company would just for once defend the talent and say, you know what, at times during, you're going to hear things that you don't agree with. It happens politically. It happens in comedy. Unfortunately, that is a part of talk radio that just said that do offend people at times. You figure for once you would love to see a spokesperson or a company back the talent like that.
Yeah, back the talent and go, you know what? They apologized. We believe they were sincere with their apology. Imus definitely was sincere with his apology. At first, I'm like, what is he doing? And I was thinking to myself, he's just doing it to save his job. But then it was very obvious as that week went on, wow, Imus is really serious. He really is sorry. That should be good enough. And the company should go, you know, that's good enough for us. He knows he screwed up. He works in an environment where, you know, any day he could say something crazy. Yep. He apologized for his comment. He met with the group he offended. That's good enough for us. And you watch these special interest groups just go away and go, but, and then the company could go, no buts. Yep. We control this, not you.
It's our company. They're handing their companies over to these little interest groups that have no power. If it ever came down to an actual boycott of a company, you'd realize how small and insignificant these people are.
Yeah.
Run your own company, for the love of God. Don't let these people run your company for you.
JV and Elvis, some bit, computer, Asian prank call, you know, pissed off of some Asian group. I don't even know. I don't care, to be honest with you, which Asian group. And they apologized twice. JV or Elvis is married to someone of Asian descent.
JV, I think.
Yeah.
And that's not good enough either. It's like, are you kidding me? They were sincere with their apology.
Apparently, the Asian group that in question here is mad at his wife.
For being married to this guy?
Yeah.
What?
I don't know what the equivalent of being called an Uncle Tom
for Asian
in the Asian community is, but that's kind of how they were looking at her. And it's so utterly ridiculous.
We got to unite our fans now. Now. Don't they have a website or something that they've been pushing lately? Yeah, we got to get our listeners together. We got to have power now as a radio show. Radio shows in general never have power because we don't organize. It's kind of like ants.
Yep.
It's kind of like, this show is, we're talking to a bunch of ants, and when we're on the air, we're all organized, we're all doing our jobs. You're listening, and you're promoting the show in your way. You're running a fan site. Maybe you show up at an event and you spread the virus, as we like to say. But all it takes is someone to kick the anthill, and everyone's just running, scurrying around. No one knows what to do. That's what happens with radio shows. When we were huge when we got kicked off the air for the Sex for Sam thing, but our fans were not organized at the time, and they wanted to protest, they wanted to do this, but no one could organize.
Yeah.
Because it's the ant mentality. When everything's going well, everyone knows their jobs, but when all hell breaks loose, there's no set plan.
Those protests don't work, though. They just don't. Like when you protest a show being fired, the company doesn't care. Oh, they care when there's 10 people protesting the show.
Yeah, but I think we could change that. I really do. Because when you do say something stupid and like an Asian group says we're going to boycott your sponsors and stuff, well, what about the people that loved Imus's show?
Yeah.
They should have started boycotting, but they weren't organized ahead of time.
I'm sure they far outnumber the people that were upset by
That's what I'm saying. And if you had the fans saying, look, you take our favorite show off the air, we're really going to boycott.
Yeah.
The sponsors of our favorite radio show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I think it's possible to organize before it happens.
Well, there are people with Louis C.K. made a great point about like bloggers. I'm a blogger, and all these people that just snivel, and these little groups are organized. Most people just go to work, they enjoy the shows, they live their lives, they feed their families. They're not obsessed with their own ethnicity or their own sexual. They're not obsessed with anything. They're just trying to work and make a living, and they're the ones who enjoy the show.
I don't feel
organized.
I don't feel sorry for the Rutgers women's basketball team. I feel sorry for the fans of Imus's show that really, really enjoyed the guy for many, many years, and the show made their lives just a little bit better as they were driving in and out of New York City and the other cities he was broadcasted to.
Give a little chuckle, give some information.
Those are the people that are suffering, and those are the people that are lost now.
Yeah.
They want to... So we're going to pick up some of the Imus listeners, but to be honest, our show is very different than Imus. So there's people tuning us in going, man, I can't, they're still searching for something to take the place of what Imus gave them every day.
We're smarter and more political than he was.
And we woke up today and radio shows had to be nice. What?
Yeah.
When they didn't give us that new rule, sorry.
Yeah, I never heard of that rule where you have to be nice.
And we're not going to live by that rule.
It's this douchey, soft mentality that guys like Jacques Steinberg from the Times have. These little hall monitor nerds, front of the bus douchebags who were never funny growing up, who never got a laugh in their lives, who, because they're not funny, have to smash people. The only way they can strike back at people who are funny, people like Nick, who tortured guys like Jacques his whole little school existence, is by sniveling and going, that's mean to pick on people. That's their whole angle to stop people from doing what they can't do, which is be funny. And sometimes it is funny to be mean, stupid. So what?
Yeah, Jacques is obsessed with this type of radio. He has an open invite to come on our show. We've called him using many, many different angles, and the pussy that he is just hiding behind his laptop and writing just outrageous articles that appear on the front page of the Sunday New York Times, a paper not many people read, by the way.
Yeah, right.
And he's getting sponsors to cancel their advertising, all this stuff.
Based on things that are taken completely out of context. Context is what it's all about. And when you take it out of context and use that against a show, it's so dangerous and it's despicable. You're a journalist that has no credibility, no scruples, no morality. You're a jackass.
Come on our show. We'll run circles around you.
This was raised interestingly by someone who works for this company. A really good point during one of the breaks. Said that newspapers have a very vested interest on hurting radio because they compete for advertising.
That's true.
This is certainly not a front-page story at all, but that's why this jackass is getting this type of a space to write these stupid articles, is because it hurts radio, and that's better for the printed news.
Just to bring everyone up to speed, just before we went on vacation, Jacques Steinberg wrote another article on how radio handled the Virginia Tech shooting.
Right.
And he tried to get us in trouble with something we did, which was beyond ridiculous, and I'm not even getting into it anymore. We discussed it ad nauseum before we went on break. And now he's back. This article appeared yesterday in the New York Times, and he basically has been paying attention to radio since the Imus thing, and very surprised at some of the things he's heard. He's listened to 250 hours of this type of radio.
And can this douchebag stop overusing quotes? God almighty, the subtle thing that these writers do when they want to make an editorial comment, they put quotes around something to kind of let you know that they don't agree with it or that they are taking issue with it. Why do you have to put quotes? One line he wrote, it was about Nick DiPaolo, that enough Native Americans drank to make them fair game for a joke. A, I agree with Nick, and B, he put that enough, he put quotes around enough.
Enough.
Why? Why does your agenda have to be so obvious? You embarrassing little sissy.
Well, the headline by Jacques Steinberg, who's hiding once again, because we want him on the radio to discuss this. Shock Radio shrugs at Imus's fall and roughs up the usual victims.
Right there, that's his agenda. Roughs up the usual victims. Right there.
Victims.
He's a PC, hall monitor little sissy boy. That's what he is.
Almost 2 weeks after CBS Radio fired Don Imus for his racially and sexually demeaning remarks about the Rutgers women's basketball team, Nick DiPaolo opened his talk show on another CBS station in New York by mocking a manual that he said one of his bosses had given him that morning. We did the exact same thing, by the way, and Nick didn't know, by the way, but we did this months ago. They handed out a booklet to us entitled Words Hurt and Harm, and we looked at this thing like, you're kidding, right?
Yeah, stop.
And we read every single word of this manual on the air and completely mocked it. Absolutely we did. And Nick did the same thing. Nick goes on, it urged him and his brethren to avoid the sort of stereotypes that had not only upended Mr. Imus, but had also just gotten 2 colleagues on FMY suspended for broadcasting a 6-minute prank call littered with slurs to a Chinese restaurant. That prank call was not littered with slurs, you ass. Get your facts straight. You write for the New York Times.
Littered with slurs.
That's exactly when he says things like his racially and sexually demeaning remarks about the Rutgers team were littered with slurs. That's exactly what this little bow tie wearing hall monitor sissy, that's his mentality and his agenda right there. He's not doing a fair piece. He doesn't like that type of humor, and that's why he's taking issue with it.
Right away, we're starting with a false premise, Mr. DiPaolo told his listeners just after noon, because words don't hurt. He then proceeded to refer to... Can we even read this without getting fired?
And by the way, can you tell people...
Can we read this on the air? Could someone come in and say, yes, you're allowed to read an article from the New York Times?
Nick is a stand-up comic. He's a conservative, brutally funny comic, and he's on this station here in New York. What time is he on? He's on like 12 to 3?
Who knows? Who knows what the lineup is here? I don't know. People getting fired and guest hosts, and who knows what's going on here? I don't know, Jimmy. I really don't. Well, I think he's on at noon. It
says here in the next line, he then proceeded to refer to someone in the studio who was apparently of Colombian descent as, and this is the quotes, a drug dealer. Why do you have to put in quotes a drug dealer? If you say to me, he proceeded to refer to someone in the studio apparently of Colombian descent as a drug dealer, where's the quotes coming in?
Yeah.
Why are you putting the quotes there? Why?
Yeah, if it said Nick was quoted as saying... and then quote it. But then why quote it? Because he's so afraid that someone might think it's his words?
No, he wants to stress the point.
Or is he
wants to push
stressing
the agenda part of what he's writing. Of course.
Yeah.
Before using an exercise in the manual as a springboard to the following observations, that, in quotes, enough Native Americans drank to make them fair game for a joke. And by putting enough in quotes, Jacques is saying, how many is enough?
Right.
That's what he's saying.
Right.
Fair game for a joke. That waiters in Chinese restaurants were, and then in quotes, efficient and, in quotes, better than most, other ethnic groups as waiters and waitresses. And that's end quotes. And that Jewish mothers were bad cooks and a little hairy. That's the... Yeah. Where's the FCC problem with any of that?
Yeah, just making jokes. He's a comedian, just trying to make people laugh. That's all we're trying to do with this dumb radio show.
Where's even? Forget about FCC rules. We know we're already so far beyond those that it's ridiculous.
That's not what's going to get us fired.
Even an issue.
It used to be that's what you got fired for: bad ratings or messing with the FCC regulations. That's easy now. That's easy.
Where is the meanness? Where is such meanness and hatred in what was just read? Of what Nick was talking about, that makes this worthy of anything to be written about or talked about or controversial. There's nothing in here that's mean-spirited enough.
Of course not. This guy's a bow-tie-wearing whore who is just doing the dirty duty of the newspapers, which is basically to knock radio down a little bit, because then people want to advertise in the paper as opposed to radio.
Yeah, there you go.
Scumbag.
And it goes on and 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 on. But then Jacques has to go after us. After being told of Mr. DePaulo's comments, for example, officials of the New York State Lottery said they had decided to discontinue all advertising on the show.
Now, so we hear it's something different?
We have heard it's something different.
It's not the New York State Lottery?
But Jacques decided to really try to get shows kicked off the air and shows in trouble. He actually took, it sounds like, audio and brought it to advertisers. This douchebag that will not come on our show.
Trying to create a story. Not trying to get to the facts.
Right. Let me make the story.
Create a story because A, he has the newspaper's interest at heart for that reason, which he's not talking about, and B, he wants something to write about. He needs to be heard.
And then this is where we get thrown into the article. They also said they would no longer sponsor Opie and Anthony,
Who cares?
a morning show on the same station, after being apprised of a line uttered by a comedian who's a regular guest. That would be
me, Jim Norton.
You
I
idiot.
said it.
And the line is, would it be possible... Don't dump out of this, because we'll explain where this comes from.
They wouldn't dump out of this. This is not it.
No.
Would it be possible... Could you whistle Singing in the Rain while I rape a girl? The comedian had asked another guest, a professional whistler, in an old interview replayed on April 25th. This douche that will not come on our show is Jacques Steinberg from the New York Times. While we were on vacation, they picked best ofs, okay? CBS actually picked this particular bit. It's Steve the Whistler. Mm-hmm. The bit is probably, safe to say, 5 to 6 years old, first of all, okay? And Jimmy recited a line from Clockwork Orange to this guy.
It was a reference.
It's a reference
to the movie because there's a brutal rape in it. We always did Clockwork references where Malcolm McDowell and his boys are assaulting a home. And he's whistling, singing in the rain while committing this assault. So I asked Steve the Whistler a stupid question like that in a direct reference to Clockwork Orange.
Here was the context, because I remember this. It was such an uncomfortable, awful interview with this guy that line was thrown in to spice up the moment, to make it funny, and it was a reference to Clockwork Orange, where a rape is going on in the movie, and Singing in the Rain is being performed.
And I'm not gonna even hide behind Clockwork Orange. I did take something brutal and make fun of it. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a comic. That's what I do.
Right.
Just like the way you whores in the newspapers take disgusting things and print them a certain way to make your living. Well, I take disgusting things and address them a certain way to make my living.
Well, here's the problem with this article. Jacques Steinberg doesn't explain where this line comes from.
Where it comes from, why it was in there.
Out of context, and that's what they're doing these days to get shows like ours in deep trouble. In very deep trouble. Because you read that, you're like, oh my God. Who would, oh my God.
It also
but he doesn't explain that the bit, first of all, is 5 or 6 years old. Maybe we've learned since then. Maybe. I don't know. Or, more importantly, the context is, it's a reference to a movie, you dope, which should be safe. If you're doing a radio show.
And again, I would say I would do that line again in a second. I would make a reference to that film in a second.
Why not?
But, you know, you got advertisers, they read that and like, oh, my God, I can't advertise on that show. But if you explain it to them where the line comes from, how old the bit is and stuff, it should be no problem whatsoever. But stupid Jacques Steinberg is trying to get our show kicked off the air and other shows like ours kicked off the air.
He's going to make a little name for himself.
Because then he's like referring to all sorts of people that do this type of radio and what they have done lately as well.
Look at the back, by the way, after the article, contributed by, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 or 13 additional names. You know
what that is.
They're all people who listened
and wrote down little notes and said, hey, this guy said that. So he didn't listen to all those hours of radio. He let some interns over there listen.
Hey, Jacques, why aren't you coming on our show?
He never will.
Why?
They're all cowards. He wouldn't. Because if he admitted the agenda of printed news against the radio, that would be one thing, but he won't. And the fact that they're actually taking clips and going to sponsors, it's like, you little bitch. Like, is that what you call journalism?
Yeah. He sees an opening. He thinks this is his way to get his name known out there. And you know what? You're going to fail miserably in the end, jock.
Yeah, why don't you write about plagiarism and how that stupid, who is it, Jason Blair? How your reporter, the black reporter, you pushed through because of quotas. Why don't you talk about that if you want to talk about any type of embarrassed you were when that happened?
All right, Doug, what's up? We got to take a break. Make it fast.
Yeah, guys, real quick, that website you guys might have been thinking about before is what the Happy Typing Girl started up with, the peopleagainstcensorship.com. It's got nothing to do with O&A, really. It's got nothing to do with any of our message boards. It's just a little effort we're trying to put through so we can show up when these protesters show up and, be in their face. Hey, you're wrong.
All right. Hey, Doug, I was a little disappointed by your website. I got to tell you something. Right now is not the time to pick apart the show. You guys have a lot of freedom out there on the fan sites, but these are very, very tough times. So this is not the time to start saying how the show changed or picking apart anything about this show. We are reinventing ourselves as we speak. We could be fired tomorrow, and the last thing I want to see on these fan sites is that type of crap, because we all got to band together now and figure this crap out.
Yeah,
I rarely talk about what you guys do on message boards, but that disappointed me because I'm like, man, you guys are usually really smart and understand what's going on. We are sitting here today. We have no idea what we're allowed to say or do with our own radio show. And you guys as fans should understand that right now.
Yeah, we actually came to that conclusion, and a lot of people are bitching and moaning, and they're speculating, and it's like, what do you expect these guys to do?
They should just say whatever they want, and then when we're fired, they go what happened?
No. All I'm saying is we'll figure it out. I rarely talk about what you guys are doing wrong with your websites, but that was disappointing because I'm like, wow, these are tough times we're living in. We went on vacation thinking, wow, our jobs are a little shaky with the Imus thing, and then they basically fired JV and Elvis. I don't know if it's official, but it's not looking good. It's really scary times to do radio right now. So we got to band together. This is the time to band together, regroup, and then down the road you can pick the show apart all you want. I don't care. I really don't. But right now I do care.
No matter what you read or what you see, you got to know that your hardcore fans are behind you guys no matter what. If we're talking about shit, we're just trying to screw around and figure out what you guys, could possibly do or what you guys may be thinking behind closed doors because we don't get to be inside on that. But we're behind you and with you guys no matter what.
I have no doubt that we will get tossed off regular radio. And Tom's probably rolling his eyes down the hall, but I don't really feel confidence right now in the company we're working for because the new guy hasn't even talked to us yet. They fired Imus. They fired JV. I think they fired JV. I really don't know because now I'm going to be quoted in the paper. I swear to God I don't know, but it's not looking good. And Ant and I have been through this, and it's working perfectly like it worked with us. Okay? So we don't have any confidence. I'm fine with our fate. I think eventually we go back to XM satellite radio full time. Until someone gives me some kind of boost of confidence. That's what I'm feeling today on Monday, May 7th.
It's tough times.
All right, Doug. Thank you. peopleagainstcensorship.com. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. Thanks for checking us out today. We definitely appreciate it.
And Nick, we're going to talk to him tomorrow because he's driving in on his way in, so we're going to talk to him before we leave the house tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll get Nick on tomorrow. Guy is hilarious. He's on this station here in New York at noon. Very, very funny.
And you can't ask him to not be himself. I mean, he's a brutally funny guy. That's what makes him funny. Don't try to soften what he does. That's what's interesting and good about him.
I love guys that have no fear. He has no fear. He's like, whatever. I like doing radio, but if you throw me off because I'm being honest, I'll go back to the comedy clubs and do just fine.
Do you understand how many physical altercations he's had in comedy clubs? The guy is a wrecking ball of a human. That's the beauty of him.
That's what you want to see.
He punched a heckler in the face.
By the way,
he walked in with a cast in his arm years ago in the cellar. I wanted to hug him. Like you struck a blow for all comics.
Speaking of no fear, there's a radio show out of Sacramento that they're beyond scared. They're scared of their own shadows, and they have to comment about our show and Stern and how shows like ours can't adapt after the Don Imus incident.
Oh, really?
You shouldn't have to adapt because somebody was unjustly fired, you idiots. You shouldn't have to adapt.
And then, why would you want to adapt to having your freedom of speech taken away? Maybe I don't want to adapt
And then shows...
Oh, maybe that guy should adapt to not eating.
Oh, dude, I don't blame those guys. We've smashed them already, didn't we? Yeah. They have to hit us. That's Dawn, Arnie, and Rob.
Oh, okay.
Rob,
killed them.
Dawn, and Arnie. I bet you Arnie is the big sports guy that does the morning show with them.
Arnie has on those open-toed sandals. Homosexual Cuban models are the only people that can wear those and look right. Oh, Arnie should have his legs severed in an automobile accident.
And Rob is wearing a suit.
Yeah. And then Dawn is the smart, perky one that keeps the guys in line.
Dude, we killed them.
Good. I'm glad we killed them.
What'd they say about it?
They're rotting in Sacramento because they're scared of their own shadows. There's so many guys and gals in radio, and they look at our success like I just don't get why. I don't get why they're the big show on XM satellite radio and they're syndicated all over the country. I just don't get it. No, I'll give you a little advice. Stop being scared. Because listeners smell the fear in your voices, and that's why you're rotting in Sacramento.
Oh, what's coming out of Arnie's shorts? They're smelling.
Stupid Arnie.
Arnie.
Did you talk about the ball scores this morning?
What'd they say?
Hey, let's go to Arnie right now. Arnie?
I'm hungover.
Hey, Arnie.
Oh, I was at Hooters last night watching them tape up Steve Nash's nose and...
What's Arnie's big thing there, Jimmy? I think Arnie's bio is up there. Yeah, his gut. Big fat gut.
Well, it says greeting diggities. I guess that's a funny thing to say on their
diggities.
Show. Hey, diggities.
Hey, diggities.
That's funny.
Yeesh.
Oh, this guy's funny. He says, greetings and howdy there from the one and only good on earth. If you're God on earth, I can't read it. If you're looking for political correctness, reasons to feel good about yourself, or just a happy, fun place, then you've come to and in capital letters it says, the wrong damn page.
Well, wait a minute. I thought...
That was an exclamation point.
Yeah, but I thought they weren't like that.
Well, we want to hear what he says because there's more. Welcome to the only page on the internet that won't blow sunshine, you fat retard. That won't blow sunshine up yours or your ugly girlfriend's ass.
Hey.
Arnie with the ball scores.
This guy's an animal.
Arnie doesn't take any guff.
But it goes,
Barry Bonds in another homer. He's 11 away from hammering Hank's all-time home run record.
Listen to what else this fat,
stupid Arnie,
bloated cadaver says. This is the page that tells you how it is, when it is, and where it is. Welcome to Arnie's page.
All right, Arnie.
Arnie stinks.
Arnie's a douche.
What a fat dope trying to be edgy. That's your idea of edgy? Welcome to... look out, folks. We take no prisoners here.
Well, Rob, Arnie, and Dawn had this to say about you and I and Stern and other shows like ours, saying that we can't survive after the Imus incident. You dopes, do you realize that we have XM satellite radio
to
fall back on? So guess what? We're going to take this right to the limit.
Take it to the limit.
Oh, go ahead, Jimmy.
I say, speaking of not surviving in Sacramento, have a nice bottle of water while you broadcast, stupid asses. That's the same city that killed that poor girl.
That's right.
At least we don't kill people.
You want to hear what?
I wish they were dead.
You want to hear what Rob, Arnie, and Dawn had to say about us?
I don't know. I mean, let me sit down first.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But satellite radio is not taking off. I'm not declaring it dead.
Wrong!
I'm not declaring it dead. Well, thank you.
No, why he's not declaring it dead? Because he's hoping he gets the call someday. See, this is what this is what I mean by the whole fear thing. You got to say things perfect just in case maybe that company comes a calling and they don't have a tape of you trashing them. That's why you're going to be stuck in one stupid city.
But at least they got Arnie.
But satellite radio is not taking off. I'm not declaring it dead. I'm not saying it can't be successful, but it's not. And similarly, shows that do that type of radio only, that's all they can do. Think Howard Stern, think Opie and Anthony.
You fucking douchebag.
Hey, no, oh, jeez.
You effing douchebag. Is that better?
Now, Arnie wouldn't curse like that.
So I could say you effing douchebag?
Certainly hope he's back from vacation.
This is the easy...
Is Al back from vacation?
Oh, you're panicking a little bit?
Why wouldn't I?
Well, the guy... If you do a whole break on not being, scared of your own shadow, then you got to curse and see if you get it down the hall, yes. This is what people say about shows like us. Like, that's all we do is the shocking edgy
Yeah, that's
stuff.
it.
But but the beautiful thing is he names 2 shows. I mean, Howard and this show, I don't know, 2 shows that have done fairly well.
Yeah.
And you're in one market, stupid, or 2 markets.
And Rob, Arnie, and Dawn know exactly why we're successful. It's because we don't just do the edgy stuff.
Yeah, you can't.
We fill in the the space with other things, make people think,
More
make people
so,
laugh.
more so than we used to. That's for sure, because we adapt. You're forced to do certain type of radio because of the FCC.
Yeah.
And because of now stupid rules that get you fired. And we can adapt to these things and work around them and still do what we do.
What was Arnie's big break today? Did you see the Kentucky Derby yesterday? Another reason for me to drink on a Sunday. Oh, you're just outrageous. Wings and beer, huh?
Guy takes no
Arnie.
prisoners.
No.
Can do. Think Howard Stern, think Opie and Anthony, who are on both satellite and terrestrial radio, are also having a hard time on both forums. They're not.
What?
It's a different culture, and I'm not saying that's good or bad. They just are not adapting to what the marketplace wants, and that's the challenge of what we do every day.
What the marketplace wants? No, it's not the marketplace. That's where people get confused. These stupid little groups are making it seem like the marketplace doesn't want this. The marketplace loves it. They eat it up in movies, on TV, tabloids. They eat it up. It's not the marketplace. It's small, little interest groups that can bully companies with the threat of advertisers. That's what they use. They threaten the advertisers. It's not the public. The public listens to this. If they didn't, how many times do I have to say it? If the public isn't listening, you get fired because no one's listening. And then you can't go to the advertisers and go, hey, this company, this show has a lot of listeners. Why don't you advertise with them so your word gets across to all these listeners? Okay, let me see the numbers. Boy, those numbers stink. I'm not going to advertise. All right, that's a legitimate reason to not advertise. To have some small group walk up to you and say, oh, by the way, look what they said completely out of context 5 years ago. Oh, well, I'm not going to advertise. The group is idiots and morons and scumbags, and the company that buckled under without getting the real info are douchebags and scumbags. If there can be a combination douchebag-scumbag, which I'm working on at my lab in my basement. That's what I do if we get kicked off.
What's a douchebag-scumbag combination in the lab? Are you taking Rob, Artie, and Jacques Steinberg and trying to meld them into one
fat,
unfunny cartoon character?
Little wussy boy.
God.
Jacques.
He should be peeking at McGreevy through a hole in a movie booth.
Jacques, I love the what rhymes with my name.
All right, do we have time for D.L. Hughley before we get out of here? So, Rob, Arnie, and Dawn, that was just a terrific statement you guys had about us.
Thank you.
Yeah, you keep trying to figure out why we're successful and you're not.
How are you going to go on the air, though, with that loose cannon Arnie? The way he is. Oof.
Tiger Woods won another tournament.
There's nothing worse than a fat nerd like trying to be edgy by giving you the oldest stuff. Like, I take no prisoners.
Yeah, no
really?
prisoners.
Well, Rob's even worse on the website. He's in a suit and he uses the word peruse.
Is he perusing something?
Is that what he says when he's caught reading a men's magazine with a bunch of uncut gentlemen? I was perusing it for the Toyota ad.
Perusing.
Between Marco and Julio.
By the way, let's take our time. There's not a show on after us. John, you doing the show today?
Yeah, who's doing the show?
I don't know. Some
Jiminy
guest host
cricket.
Today? What a mess
Fan
this
and
place
Sam?
is.
Fan and Sam take on
just for the rest
New York.
For the rest of the country here in New York, we don't even know who's on next. That's how messed up this whole situation is these days.
Would you just, for the love of God, put JV and Elvis back on the air and knock this crap off with letting these interest groups do this and run your company. Run your goddamn company yourself. Put them back on the air and knock it off.
They said they were sorry. They should not have been yanked to begin with. All right, you gave them 2 weeks off without pay. All right, you punished them.
They apologized. Fine. They met with them. They sat with them. They got yelled at. What do you want? What more do you want? Put them back on the friggin' air. Enough. Run your own company.
Don't let others run your company.
It's all these same people in the 60s, by the way, who are screaming for free love, man. It's all these same people approaching old age.
Hypocrites.
Who are terrified of being fired right before they bail out with a nice fat nest egg.
Yep.
And that's the problem. None of them they don't care about changing it. They're just going to say, okay, anything to keep the job safe.
Disgusting.
Jimmy, every generation wants to be the last. Thank you.
I don't. I want my children to prosper and their children to flourish.
Armageddon. I invite it.
It's going to be back. And for that person who's wondering, yes, we do care. We care too much. So just relax. We're back live. We won't take a vacation anytime soon. And hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. Who knows?
Maybe we said something today that upset a group we don't even know about.
And people are like, that's funny. We really don't know.
That's how it works.
That's how it works in this new age of radio. Jimmy, anything?
Dude, if we do get fired, you can catch me this Thursday through Sunday at Caroline's here in the...
What?
Nice.
I wanted to keep it under my hat. Kenny, what are you running over handing me?
Kenny, we don't have time
look at the
for
length
the long
of the
plug.
paper this sociopath hands me.
We'll plug all that tomorrow. We got to go. We got to go. Cabby's next here in New York. If you're not joining us, have a great day. But we're going off to XM Satellite Radio. We'll see you guys tomorrow. It's Opie and Anthony on XM Satellite Radio. Are we still using the clip that it's too cold to walk? Do the walkover? I'm getting reports from the instant feedback. Are you guys going to be using that same clip in the middle of July? Actually, there's a new apparatus. We walked over to XM. They're going to be redoing this whole place in the very near future. I think in June they start the construction on our new studio. Considering, I guess this will be our home in the near future for good. Who are we kidding? It's only a matter of time. And we walked in today, and there's some kind of apparatus. That thing is supposed to follow us down the sidewalk when we're doing the walkover.
With the fucking wheels on it?
It looks like...
How creepy is that?
It looks like the thing that landed... See, Ant would know exactly what I'm talking about.
Lunar module.
But see, it's just a bunch of dummies now because the smart one is doing production. So I would say the thing that landed on the moon.
I'm texting.
Right.
Too zilches. Where the fuck is the glue?
But I guess that... thing is going to follow us down the sidewalk when we do the walkover.
Hold on. What's that look like, Ant? What's that? What is that?
That is some type of electric wheelchair. It looks like what Commander Christopher Pike was in the Star Trek episode.
Yeah, but what I said it looked like the thing that landed on the moon.
Ope said it looked like the thing, and I'm like, yeah. So he said something dumb, and I co-signed it worse.
The thing.
It's like one of those super walkers that old people get.
It's huge. We're supposed to be the cool jocks broadcasting on the streets of New York with this thing following behind us.
Oh, that is awful.
Whatever
works.
How much production did you have?
That's right. I could curse. Oh, fuck. Why'd you turn me up? Were you able to do that?
No, I didn't.
That would have been a good one. You'd have heard a lot of cursing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Whenever you hear me in a commercial, just know that between every line, I was cursing like crazy.
Very good.
Oh, now you have all the fun of going in there and trying to blather out stuff.
Oh, the caveman commercial. I love this thing.
Hilarious.
Funny.
I can't wait till the sitcom.
Did I miss Kenny the smoothie request or?
Do you miss him because you could smell his cologne on my hand?
Know, it's all over.
Kenny. Why is he wearing cologne all of a sudden? I know he had a birthday.
Oh, do we have the?
He must have got cologne for his birthday. What?
A midget getting married?
Oh, the world's smallest. No, she's pregnant too, I think.
Oh,
2 foot
please tell me
bride.
this is called the world's smallest rape victim.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Can't say that before fucking 9.
Oh boy.
Wait till you see that in print.
Oh boy. Yeah, there's no movie that we're referencing there.
Yes, there is.
Yes.
Jim's Home Pornos. Fucking Jacques Steinberg. I hope you get ball cancer in your teeth. Fucking cunt. Reprint that.
Shit.
And at one point today, I don't want to.
I love how we play two completely different roles. I would imagine if I was a listener of this show, how much fun it would be.
It's
to just
so
to see the transition from one show to the other.
Yeah, it's really subtle.
I've grown to enjoy the terrestrial side too, because at first it annoyed me that we had to hold back, but it does force you to focus on other shit and kind of talk about different stuff, and then you can come in here and address. I kind of like the fact that we can do it both ways.
Yeah, we got everyone. We got everyone fooled.
I'll miss that one.
They're all bamboozled.
Yeah.
You know what I've noticed? We're twice as mean on this show because we have to be half as mean on the other show.
Yeah, we have to balance it out.
We have to balance it out, and the show has become nothing but meanness.
You think they're buying the fact that we're just acting and we're comedians?
We said it before. I don't want to have to repeat ourselves. We're actors.
It's going to be a fun ride, man.
This is talkertainment.
I love the fact. I love the fact that we have this to fall back on. It makes it so much easier because we know our days are numbered over there.
So does XM. That's why they're building us a new studio here. Well, welcome back full time shortly.
Yeah.
Believe me, they know.
They know too. Everyone knows. Everyone knows because we just started our second year, but they have to decide if they want to continue with us after the second year, and if they decide not to continue with us, they will probably make that decision by the end of the summer. I would say. I'm thinking 3 or 4 months, and then all hell's going to break loose.
Who will do regular radio?
Who's
gonna like what type of shows?
They are driving.
It's got to be very safe music. I don't even think
because even political talk like Hannity and Rush, that they get into things. You know, Rush says things a lot of times that could be twisted around.
But because those guys are political, they'll survive. Because they can't go after them, but that would be seen as such an attack on free speech. They always look at the humor differently.
But if it's too racist,
I don't know. We used to think we were safe hiding behind humor.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? That's why the company is so stupid. This is not the time to fold to special interest groups because you got all this competition. You do have satellite competing for your listeners. You got iPods competing for your listeners. You got internet radio competing for your listeners. So now, like a dude in New York's like, you know what? I would rather listen to this other station in fucking wherever that plays some really cool alternative rock music or whatever. This is the time where you gotta be strong.
Well, this is where satellite is being stupid too.
Satellite should freaking take advantage. I wrote some emails over the weekend. I'm like, this is something that we should take advantage of.
Focus on the fact that there's uncensored talk on satellite and stop with the fucking music obsession. People like the music features, but they can get that on an iPod. They cannot get uncensored talk on an iPod.
I'll tell you why they won't go that route. Because it's backing themselves into a corner. Because if someone says something on this platform that they deem hurtful in a way where an organization makes a lot of noise, then they're going to have to do something. And then people will be, wait a minute, I thought it was uncensored and free, and, you know, you can say whatever you want. You know?
Yeah,
unfortunately, satellite isn't under FCC rules, but it still falls under that umbrella of bullshit with these fucking groups.
I'm glad you brought that up because
Thank you, Opie.
I did read on the message boards where people are like, the guys will just be back on XM and everything will be right with the world. Really? We don't know how all this is going to play out.
Yeah, you think we could just go off on some racist tirade right now and be
completely safe?
Ain't gonna happen.
It's scarier to be over there. Absolutely, I feel safer over at XM, but I don't feel completely safe over here until this all kind of I don't know, like balances out or figures itself out.
I'll say here we're still safe with retards. I think Hispanics were pretty safe. Asians and black people, I don't know. That could be tough over here. Hair lips, definitely.
Yeah.
Hair lips are fair game everywhere.
You know why? I was going to say, because who's going to understand them if they do speak up with a complaint?
The wrong show gets fired. They didn't do anything.
Right.
Wait, we thought you meant...
They fire Wake Up with Whoopi. And
what happened?
And they were trying to say Opie and
What did you do? Yeah, I just heard the E part.
Right.
I didn't understand what you said.
And once again, we start off the program by saying we're glad to be here. The locks have not been changed.
Yeah, another day where we're allowed to come into the building and broadcast. I guess yesterday we got through a program, didn't say anything that offended any groups. So we're on another day, but who knows what today could bring, Ope?
Oh, it's just a matter of time.
It's a tick-tock. Tick-tock. We all know. Every day in the news is some other story of some other group, so we just know our time is very limited.
And the big guys upstairs, very, very quiet.
Yeah, quiet.
Giving us no vote of confidence whatsoever.
Nah.
Tom Chiasano gives us a vote of confidence.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
How much power does he really have in this company at this point? Come on.
Tom, it doesn't matter who's sitting in these chairs. They get Tom's vote of confidence.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
He doesn't care.
He figures victory through quantity. If enough people come through these seats, perhaps one will be a winner.
That is true. They'll get rid of us. They'll hose down the place. They'll bring in some other dudes. And Tom will just love them as well.
Be taking them out to the Beacon for lunch and just having a great time.
Sure. Just keeping that smile on his face.
But in the meantime,
he could sell anything. It doesn't matter to him.
Doesn't matter.
He don't care.
He's fine.
It would be nice to hear from the big boys way upstairs, though. Whoever they are.
Well,
we used to know all the players here. We just don't anymore. The company has drastically changed. Remember the days when you wanted to work for this radio company? This was the radio company to work for.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
I don't know if I feel that way anymore.
Well, it's nice when you're friendly with, remember the Hollanders?
The Flying Hollander brothers.
The old days, Ope.
Yeah, they're gone. So long.
Apparently, we are supposed to sit down and talk with Dan.
The new guy, Southern guy?
Southern guy, if you remember years ago. He was involved with Infinity Broadcasting years ago, and we worked for them before Oopsie, and we got thrown out the door. But we're supposed to sit down and meet with him. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Have a little chit-chat.
What the hell is he going to be able to tell us? Oh, that Imus thing? Don't worry about that.
Don't you boy worry about that there. That was something we just got in front of us. But I wasn't here then. That wasn't under my tenure.
Is that how he's going to spin it?
That's how I think he'll spin it.
I mean, you fire Imus for that ridiculous comment.
Yeah.
After 30-some-odd years of broadcasting, and then you and I are sitting here like, we're completely safe in this world.
Safe as a little babe.
I just look at my cell phone every afternoon just waiting for it to ring for some vote of confidence. Oh, it's not coming. Let's be honest.
Do you know that every check we get here, I want to put it right into my principal for my mortgage? Come on, paid off.
Come on, one more.
I kind of like working under these circumstances, though.
Oh, it keeps you on your toes.
Oh, boy, does it. It's going to be a fun ride until that day that they say so long.
Sorry. Mm-hmm. Well, we won't hear it. We'll get this.
Hi, guys. It's Bob.
Yeah. We got to talk.
It's Bob. I got a phone call. Oh, God.
We got to talk.
Oh, my God, guys. What?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I just got a builder for my new house and everything.
I don't know.
It couldn't have been worse for me personally.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Guys, I can't. Hold on 2 seconds. Yes, I'll have a receipt for that Wrigley's gum. Okay, thank you. Guys, it's just so... Oh, God. Can you get receipts for the gumball machine? I put 2 cents in there. I need a receipt.
How much is the toll? 75 cents? Can I have a receipt?
Can I have a receipt for that, please? Guys, oh my God, guys, you're really good.
By the way, you're not sending me enough receipts. He's such a...
Have you noticed?
I love Bob.
Huh?
What? Have you noticed he's negative?
Oh, he's
negative Nelly. We call Bob Negative Nelly,
and he's listening to our show a little more these days. And so now,
Bob, don't.
So I talked to him yesterday, and there's a little pep in his voice because he's trying to be like a little nicer, and he's a nice guy. I shouldn't say that, but he's trying to be a little more positive.
Yeah.
Because we have finally brought it to everyone's attention that he's a real downer.
Downer.
So now he calls and he's just just a little peppy.
I'd love to see him and Kenny in a downer off. See who could just make anyone around them more miserable.
Right. And then just be positive. They'd collide in two negatives.
And all of a sudden people would be happy.
And then he just, he's just trying to come up with things that might be a little positive. Like,
yeah.
Hey, I see that it was a nice day in New York today. It's all just awkward.
Nice day. Hey, I heard a little of the show today.
Oh, did you, Bob? What'd you think?
Hey, it was sound coming out of my radio.
He does.
That's a plus.
He doesn't know. He knows a lot of things, but he doesn't know when we're having a good or bad show.
Oh, God.
He really doesn't know.
Oh, guys.
And then he can't help himself. He just brings it down to the...
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, God.
I just... Yeah.
Good, Bob.
Hey, no.
Bob is the living embodiment of the last 10 minutes of Terms of Endearment. Every depressing movie you've ever seen in one little head.
So that's our agent, super agent Bob Eatman.
Bob's under his own pressure too. It seems he is the agent of everyone in trouble.
Oh yeah.
That just seems to be it's Bob Eatman, agent to the suspended.
Well, he is the agent of JV and Elvis.
Yeah.
The show that's on after us here in New York City.
Yeah.
Indefinite suspension for those guys. Hence, we don't feel pretty good about our place with this company.
No.
IMS, you get rid of JV and Elvis. What's going to happen
what
to us?
chance do we have?
Are you kidding me?
What chance do we have?
I want to see the company spin this and go, no, guys. They'll sit us down and go, no, you're the future of this company.
Ain't there some Spanish guy, too? Bob,
yeah,
does
Luis.
Bob represent him?
Yeah, Luis.
Yeah, Luis.
There's a Spanish jock here in New York, and he's not in New York. Well,
yeah.
How do we explain Luis?
I don't speak Spanish.
Luis was part of the #1 morning show here in New York. It was like Spanglish.
Yeah.
It was like Spanish and English at the same time. I actually watched the show while we were off. For those 2 years, I went in once to watch it. It was beyond amazing how ridiculous it was. They went from Spanish to English and back and forth like it was nothing.
Yeah.
And they were just killing in the ratings. They even beat Howard when Howard was doing mornings in New York. And then there was a little contract negotiation that went horribly wrong.
Went awry.
Well, Bob says it went great. And so the station didn't renew his contract. He went to Univision, so he has to stay out of New York.
Univision.
But he syndicated to other cities across America. Well, he did a song parody about a lesbian. And Univision, he's only been on Univision for, I don't know, a few months. They suspended him for a month over a lesbian song parody.
You used to be able to just pump those parodies out about anything. There are parodies floating around about everything that was on radio. And believe me, most of them are pretty hack. But you could cover any subject matter in a song parody.
Yeah.
Now, boom.
Yeah,
suspended, fired, get off the air.
Was it the song parody itself, or was it something in the song that was really bad? Like, I didn't hear the lyrics.
Probably.
It was just a song parody. That's all you need to know.
Bad song parody.
Well, I don't know if he said anything that was like FCC that...
No. It had nothing to do with FCC. It's more of this IMUS crap. Want to thank the
fallout.
Want to thank the company for folding and allowing the special interest groups to run your company
once again.
To the point where now every special interest group out there is empowered and excited to be the next ones to get a radio show kicked off the air. That was just brilliant. You got to show your balls and tell these special interest groups, look, we run our own company. We think IMUS's apology is sufficient. We're putting them back on the air. Same with JV and Elvis.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
That'd stop them at least.
If you don't do that, then we're all screwed.
Mm-hmm. You try to do a radio show. I didn't get to sleep till pretty late last night.
I haven't slept in days.
I don't know what it is, but I'm just like, I'm staring at the ceiling and I'm thinking, I find myself checking what I'm saying more than I used to. It used to be pretty natural where I knew what to say and not to say. I could ramble off on a subject matter, and people are always saying, how do you guys keep from cursing on FM when you also do a show on XM? And I go, it's easy. It's like a switch. You can just turn it on and off, and that's it.
Yeah.
Very rarely one of us will slip, and it's really funny when it happens because it's so rare. But, it's like a switch. Now I'm sitting here, And I find myself, like, during the entire show, we start talking about a subject, and I'm checking myself to the point where the timing isn't right to jump in on a joke, or I don't know if I should say that, and it's just taking all the balls out of radio.
Yeah, and I blame
fear.
I blame the company. Not the smartest thing to say today, but I blame the company. You got to support your radio shows. You got to tell the special interest groups, we're taking very seriously what our radio show said on the air, but we think an apology is sufficient, and we're going to move on and put them back on the air.
I'd love to comment on that. I'm just watching the news. I'm like, God, I'd love to comment on that. I don't think I can.
No.
I don't think I should.
Well, that's why we need a meeting with Dan Mason and a meeting with this company. We want to see where we stand. We want to see if they're going to support us if we slip up, because that's what it comes down to. One lousy slip up and your entire career is effed.
I blame some of these some of these sponsors too that pull out. Blame some of them. Why the hell? What is this? A fake morality that they instantly dump a show based on somebody's interpretation of what was said without a context, or like instantly. A group just has to send off a letter. They said this without any context or anything, and the advertiser goes, oh, I'm pulling my advertising from them. It's like I said, this phony morality.
My friend just got fired. I didn't even know until last night. Donnell. He worked for, I think, Ed Lover's show. Power 105.
Did he?
Yeah.
What did he get fired for?
Some innocent joke about like a black Jewish band. It was, instead of Nickelback, he called him Nickelblack or something. He's black. It was such a he told me the joke last night. I'm like, they fired you for that?
Are you kidding me?
Mind-boggling. Unless there was other stuff going on. But I mean, apparently it was...
Look, man, you know what?
Maybe he changed the word nickel.
So he's black.
I know.
A black guy's still allowed to say that word.
Nah, not on the radio, apparently. Even that, they're trying to... Some of these groups are trying to keep from being looked at like they're making a double standard. So they're calling everybody on the carpet.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be everyone could say whatever they want. I could care less, and I'm honest with you, and this is like the majority of people I know. And again, there will be small groups that will say different, but the majority of people, I'm Italian. I could care less if a black guy wants to get on his show and make any Italian bashing mafia jokes he wants. That wouldn't bother me in the least. If they're funny, I'll laugh. If they're not, I won't laugh. I don't care, though. I don't care. But there's this group, because I know there's an Italian-American group.
Yeah, they went out to the Sopranos.
Against the Sopranos. Or any depiction of Italians as mobsters. Sorry. You ever read the paper when there's a mob bust? I don't see many Greenbergs in there. It's not Murray the Horse Greenberg or something. You know, it's just what it is. What it is what it is. It doesn't mean every Italian is in the mafia. I think we can understand that. I don't think we need a group to tell us that because there are certain elements of a community that tend to lean one way towards crime, that it's not the entire group of people. So if someone wants to make an Italian joke about the mafia, what am I going to do? Run and have their advertising pulled and start a group sending off letters? I don't care about that. And believe me, my take on this is the majority's take on this of Italians. They don't care. They love it. I love the image of Italians being mobsters. How cool are mobsters in the movies? How friggin' cool is it? It's a great thing to have. It's part of the original culture that was brought over.
Well, it's funny.
And it's part of it.
It's funny because ethnic groups don't mind when it's a good stereotype.
But a lot of people don't see that as a good stereotype. I see it as some kind of a... you watch movies like Goodfellas and
But that's what I mean,
Casino.
Where it is kind of a good stereotype.
Yeah.
You see these cool gangster movies with the mafia, you're like, that's kind of a cool stereotype.
A lot of the hip-hop guys...
badasses in the movie.
A lot of the hip-hop guys have taken, embraced that whole mafia attitude and stuff, and it's like it's kind of a cool thing, this underground kind of bad, cool thing.
Right.
I don't care if you want to depict Italians like that in humor or in drama or anything else. It's fine. Why the hell can we all just do that and not have these little groups telling us what to do?
I don't know. No, what we should do today? We should have people call up and get really pissed off about the good stereotypes in their ethnic group. For example, the black dudes have no problem with being known for having the big...
Being well endowed.
Having the big ones.
Right. That's been for years.
I want Al Sharpton to start a march. I am outraged.
I am outraged. Outraged. At this show depicting us as well endowed.
And then the Asians can protest across the street, and you should see what we have to deal with.
Exactly. That's, another stereotype.
Yeah, but you never hear that. You never hear a march because, it's a good stereotype. They allow that to just continue, no problem. Let everyone think we all are well endowed.
I don't know how many times I've said on this show and on our shows before that when you go into Chinatown, Asian people have a great work ethic and a great family community.
Yeah.
They look after each other. They work very hard for what they have. And that's another stereotype because I'm sure there are Asian bums somewhere. But for the most part, as what I see, and this is a stereotype also, that they're very community and family oriented and work very hard, keep very long hours to build up what they have. Whether it's a store or whatever they're running, they spend a lot of hours there. The whole family pitches in, and that's a great thing. And those leaders that speak to their community bring that up and say that that's a great thing. That our Asian community is fantastic in their work ethic, and they build things up, and it's a great community to live in. So that's fine. But, there's got to be a homeless Asian guy somewhere.
Right.
You wouldn't say, a lot of Asians are homeless.
You know what? Speaking of that, I don't even know if I was going to say allowed. We're allowed to do whatever the hell we want. There's consequences.
We're allowed to do whatever we want. It's just a matter of how we'll be thrown out the door once we do it.
So then we have to kind of figure this out. But I swear to you, this is real. I got actual complaint emails about the JV and Elvis situation that are just beyond amazing. Beyond amazing. Written in completely broken English.
It's authentic frontier gibberish. I think the children seeing this spoken...
Blazing Saddle.
Complete broken English. Now, if I read this, will I get, fired? I don't even know.
All I know is this is the type of feedback, emails, that are coming in as complaints to JV and Elvis for the prank call thing that they played that got them thrown off the air because it was to an Asian restaurant, and they made some Asian stereotype speech pattern little thing that they did that has been a joke in the schoolyards for years and years and years. But that's what they did. That's what got them in trouble. And some sexual remarks that were made. But again, in the scheme of things,
if you can't switch the R and the L, which is what they do in a parody of an Asian voice, we all know it. If you can't do
been
that,
done in movies, been done on TV. But you do it on radio, all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose, and you should lose your job.
It's just silly.
Well, then I'll tell you one thing: they should run to lynch Jackie Chan because he's one of the biggest offenders of ridiculing Asian people ever, as far as the way they speak.
And that's all he does is talking broken English.
Talking this broken English, and then you make fun. The people in the movies make fun of it. What he's saying, it's just.
Look, I think it's safe because this is an actual email that someone wrote about JV and Elvis. I got it. I can prove it's an actual email. This is not us writing a bit because we don't write bits. We don't do anything for this show. Just turn the mics on and go. Let's be honest. So don't think all of a sudden we decide to write a bit here.
And Than, could you please spell break the right way? If the camera picks that up, we're in trouble.
Exactly. It's nothing racist. He spelled it B-R-A-K-E.
A-K-E. Oh, do you stink. Oh, you went to go get him on a spelling error, and you couldn't speak.
Well, here you go.
The Irish stereotype.
Now, remember, JV and Elvis on a indefinite suspension. probably will get fired. We're just trying to be funny and entertain their audience.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what we try to do here. There was no hate behind their bit. They were just trying to have fun. Obviously, it's someone else's expense, but you know, who has decided that's wrong on a radio show? By
Again,
the way?
We're held accountable. We're held to these higher standards.
Who has decided that is wrong?
We're held to these standards in radio that other people in TV and other mediums that come out and say it's a comedy show aren't held to. For some reason, we are. Everyone on the radio is a newscaster.
Yeah, someone has decided that radio should not be mean. It should be all nice. It should be all 2 for Tuesday.
Well, we're characters.
And your phrase of the day that pays and all that crap. So there's an actual email. I think we're safe just reading it. This is someone that's very, very, very pissed off at JV and Elvis for the prank call they did with the computer voice to the Chinese restaurant.
Here's the type of letters.
I swear to you, I'm reading this word for word.
Yeah.
JV and Elvis, why has not Cho killed your 2 sons of the bitches?
Uh-huh.
White trashes. F each others. Greet to your mothers. I swear to you that is a complaint email that was sent to JV and Elvis about their situation.
I don't know what it means.
I'm just reading them. We don't even have to make jokes or anything. I'm just reading what was sent to me. And these are actual emails. Hi, JV. I just get your email from one of your coworker. I'm so sorry get this email so later. I'm going to deliver a box your favor Chinese human S to you tomorrow. I make sure the S is fresh.
And the S is the S word, of course. We all know what that means.
These are
Although in this day and age, it could mean Swahili.
Sounds like the restaurant I ordered from.
These are actual emails coming in because they JV and Elvis mocked.
Right, so you're going to get those emails that just tell you to go drop dead and go F yourself and things like that. But these are how they're coming in?
I swear to you.
I guarantee you they're doing the same thing like groups like the Catholic League do.
Right.
They have an email blast to people or whatever. They go, just write them and tell them you're offended. This is not
exactly. No, that is not a person that listens to JV and Elvis.
Right.
I'm sorry, it is not.
Here's another one. How does a Chinaman's blank taste like? Both of you white trash inbred male whores make a living essing Chinaman's. Don't you? How much? Your mom too. That one's tough to read without really.
Yeah, they were kind of insinuating that JV and Elvis should perform some type of sexual favor on an Asian gentleman.
And that wasn't a complimentary email.
No, it wasn't.
The gist of it was negative.
The gist of it. I just felt the negativity off of that one. I didn't even have to understand it. But these are the emails coming in?
Yeah.
Protesting that they used some type of stereotypical Asian talk.
Yeah.
Some kind of speech pattern.
Yeah.
I want to see Asians protest the next Rush Hour. Because in the promos for Rush Hour, not only was Jackie Chan saying things, it was Chris Tucker not believing it. What? Like you said what? That was part of the
Chris Tucker not understanding what he's saying.
Yeah.
Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth?
Here's another one. Effing CBS, effing Doghouse. Sick men. In Chinese, what is egg roll in my pant? They are my stool. I like to give you my stool. My PU, which is a Chinese dish. But if I say it, they'll probably dump out.
Yeah.
They taste really good. You should eat them. You should eat. They are really fresh, really faggy. You want to talk Chinese restaurant? You deserve what you ask. You should eat lice, bug. I like to see your mom naked too. The egg roll is right in your mom's. Ha 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 ha. Right to them as I did.
Ho ho ho.
And then it ends with right to them as I did. So obviously this is like a campaign.
Right. It's like one of those chain letter things where they forward the email to someone else. Right. They get that, and then
but they left that part
keep it going. Yeah, but they left it in.
Well, it goes on and on. It goes on and on. But there you go. Some
that's a little taste of what
those
we're getting as far as complaints go.
And to be completely fair, that is just some of the emails. Coming in about the JV and Elvis situation, but it's pretty interesting how it's all the ones we just read are all written in broken English.
Yeah.
And that's all JV and Elvis were trying to make fun of.
Yeah.
A dumb, silly stereotype.
And when you do something like that, when you do a single type of stereotype like that, it doesn't... Why then is it assumed that you are condemning an entire people because you're using a stereotype that some people do have in whatever community you're goofing on? Whether it's a speech pattern, maybe it's a certain lifestyle from a certain ethnic group. It can't be touched on. That can't be used and used in humor. It's ridiculous. So we sit here and wonder what the hell we can and can't say.
Right. There you go.
My God, what a world. What a world.
Well, we're off and running. It's the Opie and Anthony Show. The ONA virus spreading across America. The phones are lit. We'll go to you guys next. Stay there. Hey, good morning. You're listening to the Opie and Anthony Show. For now. We're not stupid. And I guess we found out as we went to break that they dumped out of a few of the words that were in those complaint emails about the JV and Elvis situation.
Isn't that amazing?
Because these words appear in a dumb manual that Washington sent all the jocks up here.
Washington? Oh,
that was from the lawyers.
Right.
Words hurt.
Words that hurt.
Words that hurt. Something that we did read.
Yeah, we read it.
We had to read it twice. We were handed the manual again yesterday. And I guess now the words that are in this manual
bless you,
are not allowed to be uttered on the airwaves.
Not even
what?
Not even in reading a complaint email.
Just turn this place into a jukebox and be done with it.
Yeah, people on XM heard it. It went through, obviously. On XM, you heard it uncensored, but here, things got dumped out of.
Yeah, when they toss us out the door, we'll be at XM Satellite Radio. They really dumped out of that?
Yeah.
It was in an email.
Yeah.
We were reading it word for word.
I guess there's a certain word that is a derogatory term, has been deemed a derogatory term for an Asian gentleman. It includes a country, an Asian country that is communist and very giant. It's a very big country.
Paraguay?
No. Very big.
Israel?
Let's see. Mao Zedong used to run things over there.
All right, go ahead.
And then if you put the word man behind it.
What? Someone explain that one to me.
That seems to be a problem.
With who?
With Asian groups, because it's been deemed a derogatory term.
Look, man, I'm more than willing to learn, and I don't have to agree,
right?
But I want to learn.
You want to learn.
Someone call up of Asian descent and explain to me why that is bad. That word is bad. I have no clue.
Probably from the old railroad days, I would think, when a lot of Asians were enslaved or paid very low wages to build the railroads, and that was used as like a derogatory term.
No. There was another one.
There were plenty.
Blazing Saddles.
All you have to do is watch Blazing Saddles.
I never heard that word in Blazing Saddles. I heard a lot worse.
God, we used to play that clip.
Oh, we're not allowed to anymore.
You boys are lollygagging around like it's 120 degrees. Can't be more than 114. The guy falls down, and the line comes out.
That was in a movie. That's okay. That's the point we're getting at. So you could do that type of thing in movies. You could do it on TV.
Well, that was it.
But if you do it on radio, where we're trying to do the exact same thing as movies and TV, we're just trying to entertain people as they go to their lousy jobs, maybe get a chuckle, maybe make them think a little bit. It's not allowed to happen. Why? Someone explain why.
Duck that Days pay for napping on the job.
Exactly.
That's the line. He falls down from heat exhaustion.
Where's the outrage? That movie's still being played like crazy.
Yeah.
One of the greatest comedies ever.
On TBS, they'll edit all the lines.
Yeah. Oh, they'll edit it all out.
Can't even do farts on TV. Just a bunch of women run things, and then they're so soft in their humor. That's just not nice. We shouldn't.
Yeah.
Nice. Nothing can be. Everything has to be nice.
And someone had to go to work, but they reminded us on the phones, Christmas Story, the final scene.
Right.
Where they're in the Chinese restaurant.
They're in a Chinese restaurant.
And they're singing, and the staff is singing.
Deck the Halls.
Deck the Halls is singing a Christmas carol to the family and getting it all wrong.
Right.
Not all of it, but the main part they're getting wrong.
At the end, when they go fa la 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 la, they have a little problem with that, and it's a scream, it's a hoot in the movie.
From what movie?
That was from Christmas Story,
Christmas
which is
Story.
One of the most innocent movies ever made. It's a Christmas classic now. I don't know. I don't know.
We're losing
where
our
this
minds.
is coming.
We're losing our minds, and the company is allowing all this to happen. When are they going to fight back and push back?
Never. They're all guys who don't have no interest in fighting back.
And some of the callers are being stupid too.
Well, where do you want to go?
I don't want to go to Al in New York. That's for sure. Like, why we can't? Al's just going to get us in trouble.
All right.
Al's just going to get us in trouble.
I like it.
Why would you call up?
I like Al.
And it's
Al,
fine.
You're all right in my book, Al.
Al could come over and hang out at my house, and we could use those words. But it's not going to help if the callers call up and start blurting these things out.
Yeah. Yeah, we're trying to work through this. We're trying to fight back a little bit. We're trying to give our opinion. We're trying to...
I think a good way to fight back is to have a discussion about these things intelligently so we don't get yanked off the air, but voice our displeasure and show the hypocrisy in this whole thing.
Let me just play this from Rush Hour.
Yep.
If you want the girl back alive, listen and do not talk. The drop will be made tonight, 11 p.m.
The amount will be $50 million.
$50 million? And who do you think you kidnapped, Chelsea Clinton?
Detective James Carter loved his job just a little too much.
You destroyed half a city block.
That block was already messed up.
And you lost a lot of evidence.
Still got a little bit left.
But the job got a little too dangerous.
You have 29 minutes left.
I got everything under control. Papa.
I want to speak with my daughter. Now it's time to bring in the master.
Please tell me you speak English. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
This was a massive movie. I don't have to tell anyone.
$100 million?
I don't have to tell anyone how huge Rush Hour was. And right off the bat, they're beating up on the blank man.
Right.
The blank man. Why is it okay in movies? Why is it okay on TV, but it's not okay on radio? Why do we have to play nice?
I like the gong.
Yeah,
nice.
Exactly.
Oh, if you did a gong on a radio show, you would be gong.
Can we have a gong? You are gong.
Or if you introduced a black cop character, and played African drums, people would be outraged.
Yeah.
Right.
People would be outraged. The phony outrage coming out of the Asian community is just the same as coming out of the black community. It's stupid.
So look, man, there's guys way above us in this company that make a bloody fortune for being intelligent and smart and clever. Figure this out. Don't make us figure it out. You guys get the huge bucks. Figure it out and go. Look, how do we solve this situation? Do we have a disclaimer before every radio show? Do we announce to the world that we're comedians just trying to get a few laughs out there? What do we do? Do we turn ourselves into cartoon characters like we were joking about yesterday? Figure it out.
Yeah.
Stop allowing the special interest groups to control your company and figure it out.
You ever see, I talked about this before, Jerry Seinfeld. He used his real name on the show. It was Jerry Seinfeld. You ever meet Jerry? He's not like the Jerry Seinfeld on the TV show.
Right.
It's, but for some reason, because I was thinking maybe we could just change our names.
Right.
And then we'll be,
I don't have to. I got 2 names already, so.
It's Anthony Cumia as, I'll be Chest Rockwell.
Right.
I'm Chest Rockwell.
Look, it started as a joke with me, but it might save my ass someday.
Might save you.
When I say this is Greg Hughes, the actor that plays Opie on the Opie and Anthony Show, right there I'm telling people I'm acting on the radio.
You're an actor. An actor.
This is beyond insane what's going on. It really is. Let's continue with the Rush Hour trailer.
Coming out of my mouth. I don't want no partner, I don't need no partner, and I ain't gonna never have no partner. Did Kojak have a partner?
Yeah, the fat guy.
Did Columbo have a partner? No. You put your own bag in the back. I'm not a sky cat.
Beach Boy.
Oh, hell no. Don't you ever touch a black man's radio, boy. Yeah.
From New Line Cinema. The fastest hands in the East. Meet the biggest mouth in the West. Jackie Chan.
I can't hold it anymore. Just hang on, man. I'll be right back.
Chris Tucker.
FBI. Take a picture. It's okay. Wait a minute.
Rush Hour.
We can hang in my crib. I will show you my hood.
What the hell did you just say?
Now, we can get better examples, obviously.
There you go. But, obviously he can't understand us.
What did you just say?
At the end.
Yeah, playing the fact that he's...
And then, once again, the positive stereotype that all Asians are unbelievable with their hands and know all sorts of karate and other freaking forms of the martial arts.
The martial arts.
You have no problem with that. Allowing that stereotype to continue. No problem, right? Because it's a positive one. It's a good one, right?
Well, he's a huge star. I mean, he's way bigger in China than he is here. I heard girls were committing suicide when they found out he had a girlfriend. I mean, they
really?
Yeah. I mean, he is.
Yeah, I came close. I almost jumped. I was very upset.
Right. I didn't mind though, because he seems like the type who would swing.
Let's go to Ken the trucker. Ken, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Hey, man.
Hey, I'm telling you what, man. I'm embarrassed to be Asian right now.
Are you?
People need to shut up. Get over it. My mother's been in this country for 30 years and still has broken English. Get the fuck over it.
Oh.
Well, let him be. He's a little outraged. So get the F over it is what you're telling the Asian community, right? Take a joke, right?
Yeah, you know what?
We don't care about the Asians enough to, spend every day talking about you. It was a throwaway thing that JV and Elvis did, just like what Imus did. It was a throwaway thing, and he was moving on to other targets, including himself, because that's what you do with a radio show.
Right.
No one cares about your group that much where they're going to, just go beat you up every day, day after day after day. Take your beating like every other group and like every other person in the room. We make fun of each other more than we make fun of our callers even.
Maybe we should start making fun of our callers more.
Nah, we need them. All right, Ken, thank you.
All right, thanks, man. Keep it up, guys.
Yeah, we're trying.
Yeah, again, most of the people in any of these ethnic groups that have these little organizations don't care. It's like I was saying before, I don't care. I love a good Italian joke. And I don't know an Irish guy that doesn't like a good Irish joke. Doesn't tell him, But for some reason, you get a group and they represent everybody.
I got a little Polish in me.
Yep.
I've heard my share of Polish jokes. Doesn't bother me in the least because I know I'm dumb.
See, that ain't going to wash.
You got Polish in you?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. He's one of those European guys. He's just a little bit of everything over there in Europe.
I'm a mutt.
All European. There's nothing south of, what the hell is that? The Tropic of Capricorn?
Capricorn.
Or is it Tropic of Cancer? Which one's the north one?
Who cares? There was a guy, maybe he could call back. He's an Asian teacher.
Uh-huh.
And his entire class thinks that he's really good at karate because he's Asian, and he won't admit, I don't know the first thing about karate.
Wouldn't you, as a kid in school, not have fights with Asian kids in the playground or wherever because you assume that they all knew some kind of martial art?
Yeah.
That's a stereotype that I don't think they mind.
Right.
I don't think Asian people would mind that stereotype because it's kind of cool. It's kick-ass. It could save your life.
That's why we're all effed up and why we're all a bunch of hypocrites. It's like, if you mind stereotypes, then you have to mind all stereotypes, the good and the bad. I personally think you should let them all fly, but...
Exactly.
How do you get all mad at the bad stereotype, but you allow the good stereotypes to continue?
Yeah.
How does that make sense, really?
Well, there was two types of Asian kids that...
Is that a fist?
No.
No.
There was two types of Asian kids when you were growing up, the way you looked at it. You always looked at there was one who was really smart, and that the other kids would pick on, and there was the other guy who you were afraid would just tear your throat out. Like, you either assumed that an Asian kid was a genius or a fighting machine.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only way you ever looked at Asian kids when you were growing up.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I don't mess with Asians when I'm out and about because I'm convinced, just like those students, that every one of them knows a trick or two with their hands.
Yeah.
So actually, there is a slight fear that goes through me when I see that, it's an Asian guy that I might have to mess with.
And I would think, perhaps I'm wrong, but I would think that that's the type of stereotype you want to have.
Yeah, of course.
Like I said, I like that whole mafia thing. Being Italian, I kind of like the culture of it, the history of it. It's intriguing, exciting. It makes for great movies. So, it's one of those things you kind of think is cool for your culture. It's not, not the there's a dead guy in a dumpster kind of reality of it, but the motion picture part of it.
Yeah.
It's fine. There's no problem with it.
Let's say hi. It's actually a female teacher. What's your name?
I don't want to give it out.
All right.
But you're Asian, you're a teacher, and what's the deal?
I'm a teacher in, let's say, a dark neighborhood. And one day during school, one of the kids asked me if I knew how to do karate, and I said it nice and loud. Of course I know how to do karate, and haven't had any behavior problems since.
And you have no clue, right?
What?
You have no clue as far as karate goes, right?
Yeah, definitely not.
I love it.
Definitely not. But the Chinese are coming.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a while. Thank you, Asian teacher that doesn't want to give her name out. And I don't blame you.
What do you think? Because we can't do this on regular radio. And this is the first time I've been completely boggled as to where I think radio is going, besides in the toilet. Where do you think... Ope's a pretty good judge of radio. He's been in the business a while, and you see what's happening and kind of get a vision of what's going to happen. This has gone so wrong as far as what radio companies are doing.
Can I speak?
That I don't know what is going to happen next. What are you going to be able to tune into and listen to?
I'm going to speak openly. All right.
Are you stepping out of...
Nah.
You're going to stay as Opie?
Who the fuck knows who I am?
The fuck am I?
Who am I? I'm a man like you.
Just a man. My name's Fred.
Right. I've lost sleep since we went on vacation because I've been thinking the exact same shit you are. And for the first time in my career, I'm like, wow, yeah, where is it going? Now, obviously, regular radio is playing right into satellite radio's hands, okay? And XM's doing great, and I'm not towing the company line. I really do believe satellite radio is definitely, going to do just fine. The problem is where we sit, we still want to talk to a lot more people than what XM has to offer at this given time.
Mm-hmm.
I wish XM was, reaching 20 million subscribers already. Then it would be such an easy thing to do. But we really still want to talk to a lot of people, and XM doesn't totally give us that yet. We do really well, and they're impressed. We're impressed by the amount of people listening. Don't get me wrong, because I know Logan's listening. But we have an opportunity to talk to a lot more still.
Yeah, that's always been our goal.
And that's the dilemma that we're facing right now.
Mm-hmm.
And regular radio playing right into satellite radio's hands, so maybe this will jumpstart to get even more subscribers on board with satellite. I don't know.
The whole calling the format free FM was a knee-jerk response.
Dude, I hated that from
satellite.
Day one.
Terrible.
It was a response though to satellite, where it's a pay service,
which is fine.
And so they did that, and it was the wrong. I think that was
fine. I understand what they were going for, but I think we talked about this in the past. Think of stuff you get for free. Really, it's crap for the most part, unless maybe you go out to dinner with a friend or something, and they surprise you and they pick up the check at a really nice restaurant, and of course you're getting a free dinner. That's cool.
Yeah.
But in general, when people are out on the street and you're getting free stuff before a sporting event or from a radio station, it's all crap.
Yeah.
Free doesn't mean like, oh my God, I need this. Free's like, oh yeah,
it's
gee,
there.
Thanks. I'll give it to my nephew that's a little slow or something. I don't know. Maybe he'll enjoy it. He'll try to eat it or something.
Yeah. It was them trying to combat satellite.
The term free in marketing, I think, just sucks.
It's ridiculous.
It really sucks.
Free car, really?
Is it?
No, you're not giving away a free car.
Yeah.
Nothing free is really given away that's good.
Right.
Nothing that's given away for free is quality. It's just crap. Like you just said, I just repeated what you said for no reason, but not as well. I thought I had a point, and I realized I just repeated your point and then didn't do it well. I stole your point and tripped on it. I'm an asshole. My act should be given away for free.
I don't know what regular radio is going to do, because if you want to just talk like, music, I mean, XM's got you beat.
Yeah, but now, because that's what other people are saying too. Like, I think FM radio is doomed to just have to play music all the time. But yeah, again, you're going to get more of a choice with satellite. I think, and then you got to deal with, why isn't there? We're in New York City here. Hi. Why isn't there a rock station in New York City?
Can I tell you what's going to doom radio? With rock station stuff like that? The minute a car comes out with a very easy iPod attachment. They don't have the one, you can buy an attachment, but they don't have them completely convenient. But as soon as one comes out, like, look, a little place for your iPod right here in the dash, plug it right in. Radio is
and it's integrated right there into your sound
system.
Just
finished.
They're just stupid. They don't understand their competition. It's like, all right, you're going to shut up shows like us more and more as we move on here. So then what does your radio station have to offer?
Yeah, what's the goal?
A jukebox? You could get that on your iPod, and you certainly could do a much better job with the music selections if you get satellite radio, internet radio, which is not too far away as far as getting that in your car.
We've been on FM for a year now, and in that year, we've noticed so much more of a cutback on things we can talk about and say.
Dude, we were arguing with the lawyers over there to be able to say the N-word.
We wanted to say nigger
in context. In context, not in a hate speech, derogatory way. A news story, bring up where it's appropriate to use the word. We wanted to be able to use it.
Obviously, the Michael Richards story was one of the biggest things in talk radio, and we were handcuffed because we couldn't even, say the word. We couldn't even play the audio, basically, without them bleeping it out. I'm like, how does this make sense, and how are we supposed to get listeners for your radio station?
Yeah.
So we argued that, and we kind of won that battle before IMS.
For 10 minutes.
And then we went after the word faggot.
We wanted to be able to use the word faggot like it's been used for years in, goofing on each other.
So they kind of, they were listening to us over there. They really were. They were giving us a little more leeway. And then the IMS thing happened, so no more N-word, no more F-word, no more...
Did they say we can't say faggot? When did they say that?
Oh, my God. Yeah. Words that hurt, Jimmy.
Any
word that's in the Words That Hurt manual, they will dump out of now. And then they sit there and wonder why the ratings aren't higher. Are you kidding me?
And then you come up with bid ideas that you want to do, like a WOW contest and things like that.
Best ass contest.
Best ass contest.
Or the fucking, what was the one with the leaf blower, the fucking money snatch?
The money snatch, things like that. And every one of them gets shot down. And what are you supposed to do? And then you can't even do other things where there's eating or drinking anymore because of the woman that fucking died because of the Wii. So none of that. It's gotten to the point where they've literally told radio personalities you can't do anything.
Yeah.
You can sit there and talk about some things.
Softly.
Yeah. Watch what you say about everything. You just talk. No stunts, no women in there, no sexual things happening. And then you sit there and go, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
And in a weird way, I feel challenged over there, which is kind of exciting, but, I don't know.
It's beyond even fun anymore like it used to be, say 6 months ago when we were fighting for the word nigger and things like that, when they made sense.
Yeah.
When they made sense.
Yeah.
And,
well, someone brought up, and we didn't get to them over there, what does this mean for XM? And because a lot of people are at least you'll be able to speak your mind on XM. And I'm like, and I'm not trying to trash XM. I don't know where that's going to lead.
Yeah, we don't know where the line is. We don't have FCC guidelines
all of a sudden, these
here,
special interest groups go after a huge sponsor of XM, and then who knows what could happen over here. And I'm not just saying that to
make drama.
Right.
Not making no drama.
I feel like today we could say whatever the hell we want and pretty much do whatever we want to satellite. Yeah. Absolutely, I feel that today. But I don't know if that if the pendulum, as they like to say, is going to start swinging against us over here. I don't know.
Yeah, because
I really don't know.
Right now, I think absolutely we'd be getting into troubled area here if we were stupid enough to use legitimate hate speech. Get on and preach hatred of a racial group. And that's never been our show. We don't do that. It's always a humorous thing that we do, or talking about something in the news. So I think if we got on and did that, anyone would get thrown off the air, even on satellite, if somebody complained about it. But with the way we've run our show for years, hasn't been like that. But they've taken even that away from regular radio, where in context, in comedy, you just can't discuss so many things now that your hands tied.
Well, I had the best idea ever for a radio contest over there, and they shot it down. It wasn't dirty. It was when we had like a bunch of, it was a baby contest where you had the cutest baby, and all these moms bring in their baby, and then we eliminate like we take votes and stuff from Pal Talk, and then every time a baby is voted not to be cute, we punch it.
Just pop it in its little pug nose.
No, not in the face. That'd be hurtful.
Oh.
In the belly or in the little fat baby calf.
The fat baby calf. Looks like a cutlet. Mike obviously wasn't listening. We said Mike.
All right, hold on.
Not that Mike, the other Mike.
Where you going?
There's two Mikes. Mike from Cincy. Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say just leave CBS and just do XM?
Well, look, I just took what Opie said yesterday about Nick DiPaolo having a lot of courage in his convictions and going back to comedy if radio doesn't work out. And you guys are lucky enough to have another outlet with XM. Why? I mean, I know
that's what we said.
Really
Yeah,
we agree,
and that's why we're not pushing out over there. But we still want to talk to more people than what XM allows us to.
Look, is it that important to be the richest, biggest guys on FM radio?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Yes.
Very important.
No,
dude, no. It has to do with reaching as many people as you want. People confuse that with making a lot of money. I'll be honest with you, and thank God because of my pending litigation. But we really make shit as far as our FM radio deal goes. They got us for dirt cheap. They really did. Yeah, and it doesn't have to do with the money. This is about...
We're XM's whores. So
yeah.
I mean, XM is the pimp. The pimp is getting a nice
nice cut.
To whore us out. To whore us out to Free FM. That's exactly what's going on.
The goal is to reach as many people as you want, no matter what your art form is. And believe it or not, this drivel we deliver on a daily basis is some form of art. It's whenever you do that, you want to have as many people as possible enjoy it. Yep. So that's why we're on FM radio. We have.
But what I did want to say too is we're also helping our own futures by going on regular radio. We're turning more people on to satellite radio that wouldn't be turned on to it unless we did have this deal. So we're already preparing for our future, because when we do get kicked off eventually, a lot of those people will follow us to XM.
Like people who like the show will realize, I could hear 2 more hours of it, or hear it in the afternoon because I'm only getting 20 minutes of drive time in the morning.
Yeah.
So even if we're still on terrestrial radio, people can go, I want to listen to the show later in the day.
Okay, let's the rest of Mike's point.
I think if you blow it up big enough, like you did with Menino or you did with St. Pat, it'll turn out being a huge commercial for XM, and people will gradually, not quickly, but gradually come over there and listen to you anyway because of the big way you blew it out. And even like, I'm just saying.
Or we just get fired from everything.
Yeah, Mike, do you understand XM could have a problem with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to watch out.
You understand that we set out over 2 years and XM was still very scared to hire us? It wasn't an easy, all right, great, we would love to have you. They were really scared, and they had all sorts of protections in place. Remember that we were a premium channel and all that? That was just to protect the company.
But I think you can still do something that's over the edge on FM and keep your gig at XM. Eric Logan would probably be rubbing his hands together thinking it's just a big commercial. Like if you did like Honest did, I don't think XM would fire you.
Right. All right, well, we've had a year of being able to promote the fact that we're on XM, and we want to continue that for now. So.
Well, yeah, I do like that. I think that's a good business move, being able to advertise XM so much. But I don't know, it's just a little frustrating as a listener to hear you guys pitching and moaning all the time when you kind of accepted the deal. You basically just said yourself that
the deal changes every day,
my friend. It did change a bit, man.
Absolutely.
That's why we're kind of bitching and bringing it to everyone's attention. And it's not all the time. We're still doing.
Listen, before I forget, a lot of times I don't bother listening to the replays when you guys are on vacations and that. But last week I listened, and you guys were playing the Waterhead with the cooking show. And I got to tell you, man, that was some of the fucking greatest riffing.
That was awesome.
There were some other things. It's just fucking, man, it doesn't matter. Sometimes
what do you like about the, what was it, the Waterhead cooking show?
Yeah, the Waterhead cooking show, and he was cutting up a cucumber.
Oh, yeah. What did you like specifically about that bit?
I'll tell you.
Jesus. Has he learned nothing?
Nothing. Oh, my God. God, I love that.
Who was the phone call from?
That was the same call you got.
Yesterday?
The radio thing.
Yeah, what's Talk of the Nation?
Oh.
They want us on?
The NPR show.
Ew.
Oh.
A lot of people.
I thought it was network TV.
We'll sit there and go, No, we have to talk in a
Remember when we went
light voice?
We had to promote that we're coming to XM on, I guess was it NPR? I don't think, because XM has like Bob Edwards, which is their NPR, I think, or whatever. However.
Yes, Bob Edwards.
It was the most boring interview ever done.
Yeah.